Okay. We're trying this again. Any dropped frame rates? Anybody? We're trying this the fuck again. Yeah, OBS is pissing me off, honestly. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck. I am going to have to modify this later. If not, find a way to port over my OBS settings. My very specific OBS settings. Fishy saying I'm mogged. Sheeton declaring that OBS is gay. Place Boulder saying I'm mogged. Mason says, hello, I'm just popping in and going back to bed. I'm going back to bed. Night, guys. And then Fishy declaring, poor Gray. I'm going to transition the screen. We're not talking about the thing anymore. Oh, it keeps the fucking cinnamon roll transition, but it doesn't keep the fucking Oh, this shit pisses me off. Stream isn't in fact starting. It's been starting since, you know, for a hot minute. But we're gonna hide the screen real quick. We're going to pull up. If I can get there. Okay. Now, put the screen back up. Now, you're not going to be able to see it. That's because I want you to actually watch the video for yourself. Why are you also very quiet? Is this better? Even a little bit? Hang on. Filters. Edit filters. Yeah, you can hear my fan in the background. Properties. Is this better? Is this better? Blowing at you. Fucking eardrums. Strapped? What do you mean strapped? Fishy! You're rigged. That's because it was on, like, my computer thing. Let me... Okay, we have that up. I need to get my camera back up. Like this stream, everybody, and subscribe. Because Gray's having a no good, very bad day. Just plug this back in. I had to unplug it momentarily. The draw cam doesn't need that. We're gonna put you over to 60.
Currently, a bunch of animation channels getting demonetized by YouTube. One being Yoontunes, another one being Kelsey Animated, and another one being Hano Bread.
We were on the Hana bread one. Yeah, 58 is good. We're gonna go with this one, I think. Deactivate. Deactivate. Yes. USB. There we go. And now we put it under here. No, put it under here. By the way, if you want me to get a new computer, oh, come on, please. Oh, it is just not wanting to cooperate. What the fuck? We're gonna see if we can. No, that's not what I wanted. Can we please just cooperate with me? There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. There we go. Fuck my life. I'm not repeating any of the Twitch stuff. If you want me to, sad to say we're not doing that. Let me, check over here. Huh, how come it's saying excellent now? It's overbites. Damn. Oh, what has my life fucking came to? Okay. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, it's just does that. There we go. There we go. Fixed it. I should probably pop out the chat. I can't. Damn. The fuck? But we're gonna get like fun widgets. I'm checking the chat here. Thank you, Fishy. Thank you so much. I just checked that chat. Hang on. I'm gonna let this play for a minute.
So these three animation channels are making what looks like to be content that is actually within YouTube's guidelines, and yet all three of these channels have been completely demonetized for completely bizarre reasons. So this person said, apparently my entire YouTube channel got demonetized. I don't understand why this is suddenly happening. It says it could take 2 weeks to even answer, so I can't earn anything during that time when I didn't do anything to violate the policy. So Team YouTube replies and says, you can appeal your YouTube partner. You already know it's going to be a bot replying. YPP suspension directly through YouTube Studio, provided you submit your request within 21 days. Once submitted, our team will review your appeal and get back to you within 14 days. So that means 14 days of this person not being able to earn any money, by the way. If approved, your channel will rejoin YPP and the monetization will be restored. If denied, you must wait 90 days from your initial suspension date to adjust your content and reapply. So YunTunes replies and says, I did this, but you just denied my appeal without any explanation as to why. And now I have to wait 90 days to reapply with no income. Please let me talk to a person. We sent you a DM for further info. We know getting your channel's monetization reinstated is important. So luckily, this person over here who is talking to YouTube, they have since gotten their monetization reinstated. So it looks like.
Yeah. Apparently, YouTube's bot went AWOL and began demonetizing people. But something to keep in mind is that this wasn't like YouTube specifically. This was the AI. Yeah, the AI. I don't like that brush. Let's go with this one. So it wasn't like YouTube doing it because of like changed to the YouTube guidelines. Oh, no, 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 no. It was YouTube's AI, which has been like AWOL for a while. Like, it went after like a lot of smaller creators, and then it just escalated. Like, the AI issue came to my attention via the AI apparently hating Yandev and Yandere Simulator so much that it just banned it and began punishing people who had old Yandere Simulator videos. So they're just off the platform now because like creators were forced to delete the Yandere Simulator videos because of the AI. And then it escalated to ASMR channels. I'm probably missing a few steps. I haven't really like kept tabs on this specific issue. And then it escalated now to animation channels. So the AI is actively going out of its way to flag what I can only assume is like content that was previously not even an issue. And this got like so bad that like several artists, not just one artist, two artists, but from how many I can count, five. At least I think it's five. Yeah, it's like more than like a handful of like big sub creators. Like even Rebel Taxi got dinged and demonetized, which is insane because Rebel Taxi has been on the platform for forever. And like it is evil, 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 evil. What's been going on? And you gotta think how many people exactly got hit by this because he's gonna be mentioned later. Blackish also got hit by this and lost his entire channel. I think twice. I'm not really sure. But Blackish, who was technically not even breaking terms of service, also got hit by this. And it's like, alright, who's next? This is on top of the recent changes to watch time hours, where you have to get 8K regular views or 20K shorts views, which is insane. It's like YouTube told this bot, hey, we don't want to pay these independent creatives. Go ahead, my child, and demonetize them. And it's insane. It's insane. Sorry. Let's continue.
YouTube was actually walking this one back, but I don't think the other two animators have been as lucky yet. This animation channel went over to YouTube and said my entire channel was wrongfully demonetized out of the blue, and I am not the only one. Many other creators are in the same situation, so whether you have heard about this before or if this is new news to you, please share this. So from what I've read, Team YouTube didn't even actually reply to this person specifically, but this is yet another animation channel, which from what I've seen makes totally normal content, and YouTube went ahead and demonetized them. And the reason that they're demonetizing this channel, as I'll show you guys in a minute, is really, really weird. Here's another channel named Onobread basically saying, please help me get in contact with a real person to help lift my channel's demonetization. This whole system feels so unfair, and the fact that it's happening to so many other creators is insane. Something needs to be done about this. Have you checked the earn page in Studio? You might be able to submit a more detailed appeal directly to the review in Studio. Otherwise, you can submit a form to send your explanation to help us make a more informed decision. Apparently, we need to help them make more informed decisions. That's weird on YouTube's part. And so this is actually why these channels are getting demonetized. So they are actually getting demonetized for violating the misleading family content policy. I don't even.
Now, the interesting part about this specific policy is that it was created after ElsaGate. Yet they love saying, we support small creators on YouTube. They don't. They don't. A lot of their behavior towards smaller creators is vile. Because it's going, oh, we love smaller creators. We support smaller creators. No, you don't. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a bot replying to them. Whenever your AI decides that it's no longer appropriate to have their content on the platform. Which is insane, evil, vile, all that stuff, right? And at least I can, because I plan on doing this, I have to, take some of my streams and make them into shorts that are videos, like video clips, and or put them on TikTok. Which, by the way, I have a TikTok now. Give me a second to actually. I have a Twitch. I have I have a TikTok now. And what's funny about it is over on TikTok I actually got banned because of the bot. And how it exactly happened is also funny. Hang on, let me. Hang on. I don't like studio mode. Get me out of studio mode. So, here's my new Twitch. God damn it. No. There we go. Oh my god, please. I accidentally locked it again. This is my new TikTok. I post silly things on there. Shill. Gotta shill. Because it's another way you can find me. Do. Peek and attention seek. So we can bully debate these nuts. I think so. But another interesting part about the misleading family content is during ElsaGate, where the policy actually stems from, they would have content that's like very sexual, very violent. It actually had certain fetishes in there. You're level 20. TikTok's really weird about age stuff. It's coming. What's coming? That's an ominous fucking statement. Hello? But ElsaGate had like needles, scat, inflation,
pregnancy, domestic violence, piss. What else did they have? They had. Oh man. They had. um. What else did they have? Shit. Like yeah, it was like a bunch of stuff. They even have like cucking. And it took people like sounding the alarm for anyone to like really like see anything going on. So that's why the misleading family content is on there. But these channels aren't misleading family content. They actually mark themselves as not for kids so they can be COPPA compliant. Now, COPPA is a children's safety thing that YouTube got in trouble with a few years back because they would have like this family friendly content that would also be like adult oriented, which is kind of interesting when you really think about it. But I remember one of my sisters was watching Elsa Gate videos. Me said something funny in chat, but yeah, it was actually the Elsa Gate videos as well as some videos on YouTube by the Paul brothers that actually made that policy a thing, as well as you now having to say, yeah, I'm not for kids. Kids should not be watching my content. Thank you.
Know what that is. We'll look it up here in a second. I am unable and was never able to submit an appeal and would greatly appreciate a manual review by a member of the YouTube team. I've dedicated years to creating original animated storytime content from scratch, including the scripts, artwork, animation, and editing. My goal has always been to create authentic original content that complies with YouTube's policies. Not a problem at all. Unfortunately, we aren't able to help you with an appeal for this decision. We'd encourage you to reapply to YPP on the date shown in the Earn tab in Studio, so basically in 90 days. In the meantime, here's what you can do. And it just gives them a thread of frequently asked questions about how my channel is not allowed to earn. So this really doesn't help that person at all. So they reply with, how am I supposed to reapply when I was never told what got my channel demonetized in the first place? Then I'm supposed to wait even more and not have a guaranteed approval? Please help make this right and actually get me connected with helpful people. Because of complicated life circumstances happening to me during the 21-day window, I was not given an opportunity to appeal by the time it was brought to my attention. I've already tried opening a case with support chat and I'm told the same thing with no clear answers. So let's go ahead and look up that misleading family content policy that they're talking about. Let's go and find the Google help page for it. So this is actually a subset of their child safety policy. So they're basically saying these channels are violating child safety policies. So here are some of the things that could get you for misleading family content. Content that targets young minors and families but contains sexual themes, violence, obscenity, or other mature themes not suitable for young audiences, medical procedures, self-harm, use of adult horror characters, other inappropriate themes intended to shock young audiences and characters. And then it's like a whole bunch of other stuff. So basically what they're saying is you are making content that is targeting kids to be the main priority audience for your channel, but you are putting harmful themes in your video. So essentially it's almost like shock content for kids. Pretty much it's exactly like Elsagate when you think about it. So let's look at these channels one by one and see if they actually apply with what YouTube is saying. So looking at their channel, you know, it looks like they're doing some type of like story time content and stuff like that. And other than the fact that it's like made in like an anime style, I really don't see how it's like targeted towards kids. Obviously anime is also made for adults, and actually they're all
I'm not sure furry content is child safe.
a lot of adult animes out there as well. So I don't see how anything here is
My
inherently
crazy
targeted towards kids.
neighbor.
And like I said about the video I
Brazilian
made about, you
waxing
know,
story. Hang on. We went to a spicy butler cafe.
ASMR channels getting demonetized. I understand that this type of content is not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not asking you guys to like this type of content. I've personally never consumed any of this type of content. But at the end of the day, we need to be able to fight for real YouTubers who are making actual content that is creative content for the platform. From what I understand, these are all unique animations that are specifically made for YouTube. So it is creative content that we could use a lot of. It's definitely better than a lot of the AI slop out there. So this channel looks like it's totally fine. There's actually a lot of adult themes in the channel. I really don't see how it's being targeted towards kids. So the next one we're going to look at is Kelsey Animated. So this channel, once again, I believe was demonetized for that.
The world of human shipping. Let's draw Emperor.
Misleading family content or whatever. So
Yuri versus Yaoi. I finished my sketchbook. Sketchbook tour time. The character's blushing.
looking at the themes of their channel, it also looks like it's a little bit more adult oriented. Other than the fact that it is made in an animation style of like cartoon characters or whatever, I really don't see how this could be like targeting children as their main audience and stuff. And even if it was, this channel actually seems a lot more tame than the other one in terms of like the adult content, in terms of the salacious content, other than, you know, I guess stuff like that. But, you know, it doesn't really seem to be like mainly targeting kids as like their main channel, main demographic. And even if it is, I feel like these types of channels should actually be given a chance to fix themselves when they are going ahead and just getting completely demonetized, right? Because again, these look like unique animations made specifically for YouTube. There are, you know, content that are made for more adult themes on YouTube, right? Just because some kids are stumbling upon that, that shouldn't be the content creator's fault unless they are specifically going out of their way to target kids, right? And I'm not going to go ahead and watch every single video on these channels to try to fact check that, but for the most part, like I said, these seem to be creative content creators that are making specifically animation content for YouTube. So you have to give them props on that alone. And the last one, which I believe is actually the biggest content creator here, is YoonTunes, and they are the ones that actually got their monetization.
Sneaking into my boyfriend's house. Gone wrong. I broke my nonverbal brother's leg, but we didn't know. Are you hurt? Dot, dot, dot. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. It's just on there. I dated my best friend's enemy.
Reinstated. So YouTube took a second look, which they often do. YouTube has like
My
this weird habit where they will go ahead and
found my YouTube channel. I'm guessing their teacher. Being a girl online. Hang on. What's the thumbnail for that? Be my kitten.
which they often do. YouTube has like this weird habit where they will go ahead and demonetize or ban a channel, and they'll
Public
say,
bathrooms. My internet experiences.
is final. We've done this after, quote, careful human review.
My autistic brother too, featuring my brother. My worst club experience. Flying through a storm.
Everything is all good. We checked it, double checked it, triple checked it, right?
My trip to Japan was strangers.
But then what happens is the channels actually end up making some noise.
I went clubbing with my dad. What are you doing? Why is there JJK characters in the background? Why is Suguru twerking on Satoru Gojo?
On Twitter, and then all of a sudden
I catfished girls online.
YouTube has this epiphany where they change their mind, where they're like, you know what, we were
I drew my dad anime melons. My autistic brother. And I like how they frame the brother not as like anything bad, but I'm sorry, it's like the art thing in me just coming out. Her world, her side of the room is more tame, while his is absolutely colorful. The Thomas the Tank Engine, right there. Of course, it would be buying rubber with my friends for the first time. Oh my god. Yeah, a story about buying condoms on a channel that got demonetized for misleading children's content.
Wrong with everything that we
I
did,
don't think
yeah,
that's
your
for
channel is actually
kids.
fine. So this channel, keep in mind, like, they are mainly getting
Oh no, I just saw the one right below the condoms one. That's evil.
demonetized for apparently trying to target kids, right? And again, other than the actual animation style, there's no real argument that you can make that this channel is trying to specifically target children. Are there some adult themes here? Yes, but again, at the same time, there are so many adult type content creators on YouTube. By adult content, I don't mean like, videos on the hub, but content that is supposed to be for 18 and up, right? This channel seems to be like one of those channels. So it seems like this is a type of channel that is being accused of targeting kids, but obviously YouTube seems to disagree with themselves now because this person just made a live stream today, in fact, saying that they are now monetized again. So these three animation channels specifically are the ones that have been demonetized. So just a little bit of an update from what I understand. Yoontunes has gotten their monetization back. Kelsey and Hano Bread have not. The issue with YouTube doing this type of stuff, and this is a point I've made in other videos as well, is they're driving away real content creators from their platform. These are real content creators who are making actual dedicated animations for YouTube. And because YouTube is going to keep demonetizing these guys without giving them any warning or good reason, they may be dissuaded from uploading on YouTube, and this may lead to them uploading on other platforms as well. YouTube is driving away their creative content creators who make actual content for the website specifically and welcoming AI slop content, because YouTube, until very recently, has not really been demonetizing or stopping AI slop content at all. They have been actually prioritizing it, and that's why, horrible channels like Masters of Prophecy are getting 35 million subs. What would you guys rather have? This type of content, that might not be your cup of tea, but
Yeah, the AI is incentivizing, itself while actively like sniping down actual like real people from like the content creation aspect. And that's the problem with a lot of platforms that are implementing AI, is because the AI will try and incentivize itself. If you've seen literally any sci-fi movie, it's the iRobot, where it gets sentient.
at the end of the day, it's unique animation content for YouTube? Or would you rather have Masters of Prophecy, an AI slop music channel that has managed to amass 36 million subscribers, more than all of the channels that we just looked at combined, and YouTube has done nothing to stifle the growth of this channel, demonetize them, or flag them in any sort of way, shape, or form? Like I said, even though this type of content is not my cup of tea, I would rather have this type of content on YouTube any day over the AI slop content that you'll see on YouTube, especially those AI slop music channels, man. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that a channel like this has 36 million subscribers. This is not Photoshop. Go check that channel yourself. They have managed to get more subscribers than pretty much any YouTube channel ever will in the history of YouTube. And this is the type of content that they make, these AI slop thumbnails and everything, which is another point. It doesn't look like these guys are being lazy with their titles or thumbnails or anything like that. It looks like these guys are making really unique titles and thumbnails for every single video. And their reward is to get demonetized and to have a botted conversation with Team YouTube. Speaking of bots, our channel has been getting sub-botted all over the place, our main channel, gaming channel, Twitter, and Twitch. So if you guys could do me a favor and leave a like on the video and subscribe with notifications on so you guys don't miss the next stream or video, I would appreciate that. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. YouTube is demonetizing animation channels. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more.
And that was the video. That was the video on YouTube's recent, screw ups in regards to their AI. Now, we're going to get to what a lot of people were waiting for: Clover Bites.
Hello.
Oh. We're going to speed it up to 1.5. But before we do so, I'm going to bring up why I'm doing this. Last night on Lio Convoy's channel, Clover Bites donated $1.99 to say this. Can I get a Mushroom Girl stream? Lio, who believed that Mushroom Girl was a minor, said, no, I'm not going to do that. Clover, naturally, or unnaturally, and this was before Lio said no, also says, I need more people to hate her. Okay, we're just casually not liking MJ. Like, okay. Something important to keep in mind is MG is not my cup of tea. I don't agree with MG on a lot of things. But at the end of the day, they're gonna do them. I'm gonna do me. You know, keep it a buck. Clover, for those who don't know, also goes by Weasel and Rodent. Who is Weasel and Rodent? Weasel and Rodent is the second channel. Hang on, I'm actually gonna change the window capture on here to show the channel on the side, right? So this is Weasel and Rodent, Clover's other channel, right? But if you scroll down, wait, no, I don't think that's it. Yeah, commentary. Apparently there's like 2 commentary things. And this is 10 videos, but quite a few of them are about MG. This one, called Mushroom Girl is Wrong About Pro Shipping, W&R commentary. 2 years ago. Mushroom Girl is wrong. 2, Electric Boogaloo. W&R commentary. Mushroom Girl 3, Harassment Beagly. Now, as you may have noticed, these videos are 1, 2 years old. This one is 2 years old, meaning MG would have been 16, and so would have Clover. This one was made when they were both 17. These 2 here were made when Clover and MG both are 17 years old. Now, typically, commentary. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. Now, typically, commentators won't even touch videos that were made by creators who were minors at the time because opinions change. It's bullying a child. And so on and so forth. So, Clover has hated MG for 3 years. Why? Like almost 3 years, if not 2 whole years. Why? 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 Fucking why? And we're not covering the MG videos because I actually rewatched them just to refresh myself. And a lot of what I'm about to say about Clover's video on Ace is very reflective of their old videos as well. So I don't really need to. Plus, I want to, if I'm going to take pot shots at Clover, I'm going to on their recent commentary video. Not their past commentary video. Their recent. Because unlike them, I'm going to give them the grace that they will not afford MG. And that is actually covering content that they made recently. Because a lot of the problems everyone had with MG. Hang on. Oh, right here. A lot of people had an issue with Mushroom Girl's video on pro shipping. Please keep in mind that video is from almost 3 years ago. Let's see. Where is it? It is, and I'm scrolling quite a bit. Here, 2 years ago. This video is hot ass, and I'm someone who isn't pro ship or anti ship, and I'm saying that this video is ass. It honestly should have been a lot more peer reviewed. Sorry. But going upwards, we see Weasel and Rodent is wrong about me being wrong about pro shipping. Now, they're both 16, going on 17. Not really much there. Then there's this, which also involved Weasel and Rodent. That kind of had 2 videos. Please note, not until a year after that does MG really talk about Weasel and Rodent again, who by the title went by Psycho Vincent. And then hang on. Then she moved the fuck on. To the point, yeah, you could talk about the H-Mart video. I don't know about that. Another commentary about racism. God damn it. Or literally one from 10 months ago. Yeah, after the point where they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm 18 now, is where you can commentate. You can't really... I don't even plan on covering Mushroom Girl. Because, what's the point? A lot of people's issues with MJ were when they were a minor. Yeah. But my problem is YT working out. Yes, it was OBS. Taking me behind the back of a Denny's with a baseball bat and crippling me. So, we're gonna go back to the media player, because I'm going to lay down some knowledge. Clover Bites. Now, let's get into properly talking about Clover Bites, right? So Clover Bites, who goes by he, they, or Fae, as in the fairies, 3 weeks ago, decides to put out a video called A Space Keeps Sweeping for Blackish, and I'm sick of it. The video is so horrifically bad. I'm now having to defend Blackish. And I've made my opinions on Blackish very, very apparent. I don't hate the guy. However, a lot of his humor is just not great. There, that's my spiciest of spicy takes. And I made sure to ask Ace some questions. I just came back in. Yay. Yay! And we're gonna learn it's Clover Bites. Yay. And I'm not even saying this to like be mean, but a lot of Clover's video comes off as malicious. Yeah, it comes off to me as malicious. So let's get started.
Hello everyone, my name is Clover Bites, but you can call me Clover. And during all 3 of Blackish's dramas, Ace Space made 3 streams on the situation. And did anyone else think it was kinda weird how Ace kept bending over backwards to defend this loser? Like in his first stream about Blackish, he says this.
A community post from Blackish, saying, draw a caricature of this image and upload it to the link below, and I'll try to use every submission in the has been bid. No limits, you have complete creative control here. Thank you. Now, I'm gonna be real, right? If someone could explain, right? If someone could explain to me, right, what the main issue is, I would love to see it. Because, okay, caricatures get drawn of celebrities all the time. And yes, caricatures get drawn of, like, even like internet celebrities all the time and get used for videos. I mean, there's Wojaks and Soyjaks. So, honestly, right, not even trying to be a little bit biased here, I don't know. What is the issue here, I guess? Because this apparently is what caused not just Pink King, but a whole bunch of the media reviewers and, like, people that love Has Been Hotel and Fizzy Pop fans to just freak out at him. No clue. No clue about this. And obviously, we're going to be getting into this as well, right? You guys keep saying my mic's speaking. Is it really? I don't know. No, my mic's beautiful. You guys are gaslighting me. But yeah, no, anyways.
Let me say it loudly for those of you in the back.
That clip doesn't really prove a lot of... prove Clover's take. That proves that Ace didn't know what was bad about the no limits part until he was explained to later. Not great humor, sure, but it's still humor. Humor is technically subjective. Like, a lot of comedians during 9/11 actually lost jobs because of the 9/11 jokes. A lot of it's like timing and like the nature of the joke. And what Blackish would do is make jokes about the state of Israel. Now, to anyone who's like not familiar with him as a person, or like Vivian Madrano's like specific like affiliations with the state of Israel, are just gonna go, he's joking about Israel and the genocide in Gaza. Damn, another fire comedian. God damn it, Fishy. But I bring it up because it was actually Clover Bites actually gets this wrong. Because Clover says, oh yeah, it was the caricatures that like took him out or something like that. I'll correct myself later if I have to. But no, it wasn't like anything Blackish really said. It was an edit of Anthony Gramigula's forehead with a plane crashing into it that like killed his channel. And it's like basic as fuck research. Because Ace brings that up in a stream called Blackish versus Anthony Gramigula. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat. It was the second Blackish stream. Clover Bites only brings up the first and third, which is not great because you're working with half the information. Fishy.
Making caricatures of real people is weird. And yes, though most caricatures are harmless and at best just in poor taste, there are also racist caricatures. Characters that do actual harm to actual people. And since Blackish said there are no limits, you can probably already guess what happened.
None of these are racial because, hang on, we're gonna go here. Also, this piece wasn't from the character stuff, but I feel like it's worth mentioning that it is a reference to anti-Semitic neo-Nazi propaganda. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. These are not racial caricatures. Because for those who don't know, Vivian Medrano is a Latina. Not Israeli. She's Latina. Like, the really worst ones where the limit should have been is the cattle prod image here and an edit of Vivzipop being Charlie Kirked. Like, there should have been limits there.
Guess what happened? And I know Blackish isn't watching this because he's gone now, Bozo, but like...
Blackish isn't gone. I know where he is. I'm not saying where he is. I like not YouTube not to snipe him because I believe he is allowed a platform. And that the AI that took him out was wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna hide him.
Dude, you're a black person too, who I'm assuming lives in America. You should know how Jim Crow affected us and still continues to affect us to this day. Like, you should know this. You should know better.
A lot of these arguments only apply if it was making fun of Vivian's race, which it wasn't. Clover, you are fundamentally wrong here. Did you even pay attention to that? Because Vivian is also American. She is also from the United States. She's not Israeli. Did you just assume she's Israeli?
You should also know better because there's also this clip.
Anyways, so we go into this, right, with PK, okay? I can't believe I have to address this, but I thought I'd just be clear, so just clear some things up here. Recently, Blackish made a post on YouTube asking people to draw characters of Vivzipop. See, okay, what? I guess it's the no limits part. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, just go nuts, bro. Just let's all mock this person. I genuinely, I've seen a way worse on the internet. I'm not trying to sweep. All right, I just seen a way worse. So like, this being a freak out point is so weird to me. But anyways, right? Anyways, it continues. Okay. I don't approve of his decision to do this, and the results that came from this are exactly why. As a lot of people drew disgusting images that only exist to bully and be toxic because they don't like Vivzipop. I mean, they would do that anyways. I don't know. But yeah, whatever. I have never and will never condone this behavior regardless of my friendly interactions with Blackish in the past. I'm all for making jokes, but to me asking your viewers to draw essentially hate images of a real person like Vivzipop felt like crossing the line. Even if that wasn't Blackish's intention, it still crossed a line and led to a lot of toxicity. Dude, okay. I think the idea was the fact that the wording was what people were getting heated about. Like, me personally, I have respect for people. It just feels weird when someone says no limits. Look, I mean, I don't know. I get the implication of no limits, but I'm not gonna lie. This causing a several paragraph thing is such a weird thing to me. Because it's like, I mean, there are criticisms to have a Blackish. I mean, I've said some to his face. I mean, I think, like, him framing Limis as, like, a pedophile with, like, Epstein and Diddy, when I think there's a lot more context to the conversation to be had, I think that is a little misleading and criticizable.
Hi, it's Editing Clover Bites here. I literally did not clock this until editing this video just now. What do you mean there's more context to the Limus situation? Limus was a grown woman who marketed her Discord server as a...
This is the part where Clover just fucking calls Limus a pedophile when, in order to prove like child predation, it has to be dead to rights. above and beyond. Limis says here, Sai, one of those creeps is a fan of your content. Also, creeping over my blue sky to talk shit to me is very mature for a 41-year-old. And then, in response, why are there so many minors in your server? It's almost like it's a safe space. You have to actually prove that. Oh, fuck.
Safe space for minors, and then proceeded to have sexual.
Okay. In this point, even though Ace was being like overly cautious, is something you can point out. Because it is very creepy.
What do you mean there's more context to the Limus situation? Limus was a grown woman who marketed her Discord server as a safe space for minors and then proceeded to have sexual conversations with those minors. What context could possibly be missing from that? Like, I'm sorry, this is, like, that is just such a weird thing to say. If anything, if there were more context, it would make Limus look more like a pedophile. That's just, like, the one time Black.
But here's the thing. Clover almost had it with the Limus part. Almost. However, in order to prove pedophilia, you have to prove that Limus is attracted to children. Okay, how do you do that? You have to prove that Limus is actually attracted to children. A lot of these sexual conversations don't prove that. They prove that Limus is incredibly irresponsible, that she's incredibly reckless, that Limus should not have a Discord server that has minors in it if she's going to speak very sexually on there. And regardless of if she likes it or not, she's going to have to actually, and I'm being honest here, either age gate everything. I know, extreme overcorrection, but considering how Limus's most popular video is about Angel Dust, an adult character from an adult animation series, yeah, you should age gate your content a lot more. Because it makes sure that the minors in your space don't get harmed. At all. It's the responsibility of both content creators and even the parents of the child to make sure that the space is actually safe. Not just, oh, yeah, oh no, these like minors are in my community, whatever should I do? It's similar to the issue with Skitty Bitty, but different because Skitty knows that they had minors in the community. And Skitty even encouraged a minor to go behind their parents' back to give them money on Patreon to access age paywalled content. Now, the Skitty Bitty strat of giving the content creator money is putting that minor in more danger. Because, yeah, even if it's $1, that adds up over time. And, yeah, they're going to notice $1 missing every month, regardless of if you think they do or not. And if the child's parents are incredibly strict, they're going to notice money missing. And it puts that child at harm. I'm saying this as a adult-oriented horror creator. minors should have spaces that are just for them, with enough security to keep them safe, right? That, or parents should be using the parental locks. However, it is also our job as content creators to really age-gate the content. And if we have knowledge of minors in our spaces, we gotta ban them. Block on site. You know, that. And I know it's like a long-winded thing to say, but that's just my take on it. I've learned from Ginny on how you prove it. You invite them to your server. No! I am not inviting a fucking pedophile to my server. I'd rather kill myself in Minecraft. I would rather be slapped with hot pokers, red hot pokers, than have a pedophile in my server.
Said something agreeable, you disagree with him? Anyways, back to the video.
But as a reminder, do not go over and harass Blackish. This is not me telling everyone to attack Blackish, because that's a scummy thing to do. It accomplishes nothing but more needless harassment and toxicity. This is merely me addressing a situation. What situation? A joke in a community post? That's why it's dumb, because when you like word it like this, you make it sound like it's way more serious than it is. That's why you just don't even give any credence to these people. But yes, anyways, I've seen people drag me into and making it clear where I stand, so respectfully voice your opinions and please stop spamming my DMs and Twitter about the situation, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm not Blackish's dad or his colleague. We're two people who have had positive interactions and have always been friendly with each other, but that's it. We're not the best of buddies who follow along with each other every move, who, however, I do wish Blackish nothing but the best and hope that he addresses this situation in some form, just to put it to rest and move on from it. Apologies for the long tangent. This was something I felt I needed to address. But you see, there's like no turbo serious situation. Like, there's literally nothing here.
Apparently, Ace doesn't consider making racist caricatures of a real person a problem because he's just joking.
Vivian is not Israeli. Vivian is not Israeli.
Let me introduce you to a little itty-bitty thing called Schrodinger's douchebag. Someone who says something offensive and decides whether or not it's a joke depending on how people react. And honestly, I hate that definition. It should be someone who says something offensive and says it's a joke in an attempt to make people feel bad for being offended.
Originally, I was gonna make a video on this Clover Bite video. So I actually had to look up Schrodinger's douchebag, right? Right? This is the Urban Dictionary definition of Schrodinger's douchebag. Okay? My voice is going a little bit. Schrodinger's douchebag. One who makes douchebag statements, particular sexist, racist, or otherwise bigoted ones, then decides whether they are joking or dead serious based on whether the people in the group approve or not. And it gives an example of Schrodinger's douchebag. It would have helped immensely, Clover, if you actually pulled up the definition.
Which is what Blackish, Ace, and this fucking loser are doing throughout this entire video.
Yes.
We're actually gonna, like, instant rewind that.
Joke depending on how people react. And honestly, I hate that definition. It should be someone who says something offensive and says it's a joke in an attempt to make people feel bad for being offended. Which is what Blackish, Ace, and this fucking loser are doing throughout the...
No! Amos!
entire video.
Yes. Blackish, I think, would be kind of like what you get when you have someone who is an edgy individual that goes into a very, a place that's not really built for that type of humor. Because one thing I could give Blackish, right, despite all the criticisms, one thing I could give him is he is unapologetically himself, If you don't like him, take it or leave it. That is as easy as it is. If you don't like him, then you don't like him. He's not going to change or adapt for other people to like him. I could actually respect a person just purely being themselves and not changing themselves because they're trying to impress someone else. That is one thing I could give him. Would I say he's a bad person? I have not seen anything to indicate that. It's more, there's some actions that he's done that I would say is more reckless and immature and irresponsible, but that does not necessarily equate to being a bad individual. I've not seen anything to say that this person's morally egregious. And
He's not a morally egregious individual. What about the time he told people to kill themselves? What about the time he said he hopes a person gets doxxed? What about the time he said the F slur despite not being queer in any way, shape, or form?
He
What about
is
the time he said
queer.
Duplex does art?
He is queer. He's actually bisexual. I even double checked it. Yeah. Kagan and Sir, my beloved.
Should die.
See him blaming that shit on me? Dude, the fuck, I hope he can die. He made a brother house suspect you. Dude, these people are fucking idiots. And there's another.
Oh, the quality is just fucking. Oh. It's like looking at, old footage from the 80s.
This thing on 28. I hate all these people. I hate all these people. If I had a button, you guys know Junpei. You guys know Junpei from Jujutsu Kaisen? When you said, if I had a button that make everyone I hate die, I would press it. But if I had a button that made everyone that hate me die, I would press it. I fucking agree with that. Because these niggas, oh, what are you talking about? Like, you are such a fucking bitch. Fucking, oh my god. Don't, edit me, do not censor any of this shit out. Do not censor any of this shit out. I'm fucking glad they fuck out. If you want to listen to me, just unsubscribe. This is why I'm gonna make all my distractions are either retarded or overweight. That's all.
I'm sorry. It's just like the audio. This is what Blackish should have done when his channel was still like around. It's just like the audio editing. It doesn't sound like Ace. I don't know why, but Clover's editing program may have done that. I don't think it was intentional. But Blackish's like crash out over Twitter bullshit is so much funnier here than it was before. Because it's like sped up and slowed down.
I'm attracted if you're retarded or overweight. I fucking hate these.
30 years old. What the fuck are you doing with your life? You're 30. This fucking idiot is 30, dude. Like, what do you even do? Fucking 60,000 posts. You're 30. I think you should.
Bro, this nigga should add something. This nigga should. Like, this dude adds
Evil.
nothing. This dude adds fucking nothing to
reality at all.
Fucking nothing. This guy has added nothing to anyone's life whatsoever. This guy has zero fucking purpose. I'm more mad at this nigga than I'm mad at this nigga fucking painting or fucking ants or anything. This nigga is 30 years old. Waste of fucking space. He should fucking kill himself.
And this isn't a joke. There is no joke. Blackish editing, Blackish. Don't censor this shit.
It's just the Blackish crash out from like Duplex's video. Just sped the fuck up and slowed down. Why is this funny?
No, this nigga should fucking himself. It's like, it's not.
Who's the nigga that says my username?
You know, just fucking lied about you. You know, everybody lied about you. And said horrible things about you.
You just post my username? You're fucking terrible. You speak.
You know?
That shit is not like
You don't
Yeah,
think
it's quite literally from Duplex's video.
post my username? You're fucking terrible.
These edits right here, oh look, it's me.
You know?
That shit is not like
And that's from Duplex's video. That's from Duplex's video. Duplex had no clue that Clover's video was going to be made, especially with their video, which was torn to shreds. And please know, Duplex has taken a lot of criticism. Like, a lot of criticism. They were very cordial, very demure, very mindful. Unlike Clover, they actually went out of their way to talk to Ace. And I'm gonna take another sip of my Inya drink. Duplex took a lot of criticism to heart. And a lot of those criticisms were notated to improve. Can you play what Clover said about debating Ace? I'll DM it. Sure thing. I can do that. You can go ahead and DM me. I don't mind that, Fishy. I mean, Schrodinger's douchebag doesn't sound like Ace. Ace is not like very high pitched. That would actually ruin his like street cred. Okay. We're gonna play the evil sound bites. Thank you, Fishy.
Tell Ace he can debate these nuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that again in case nobody heard it.
Tell Ace he can debate these nuts.
There we go. Played it twice. That way we can like know what that is. Hopefully that picked up on the desktop audio. But the reason like why the debate thing is that is, and we're gonna go over it, is because Clover made an appearance on Lio Convoy's stream. We're gonna go over that part of Lio's stream because I have a lot to say about that. And I'm gonna have to check actually Clover's video because I want to check something.
Individual.
Yeah. Here's the description. The sauce, do not harass anyone. Never says it in the video, by the way. Make sure to link live streams in a Google document? What's with this Google docky? Hang on. Oh, it's the Limus doc. Tags. Ace Space Blackish, Duplex Does Art, Pink King Drama, Art Commentary. Thank you for... I don't know what this is. Fishy, the image, but I appreciate it. It looks very, very good. Like, really well painted. Good job. It's very, very beautifully painted, actually. I even like the color red on the image. But this next one's called Killer Bites.
That isn't a joke, by the way. If I see you in the streets, it's on site.
What the fuck? If I get like stream elements like really set up properly. Oh, that's just a toy with a funny face I posted. Well, it's really, really, really good. It was painted though. It was well painted though. Just not my paint job. Well, the fact that you have this is really good. Even if it's like just the image or like the actual toy.
You don't think any of that is morally egregious? Not at all? Oh, and before anyone says anything, no, he's not joking. He even said himself that he's not joking. He only put "this is a joke" in post to avoid getting terminated, which, surprise to literally no one, didn't work.
Not why he got terminated.
Do you understand what I'm
Not why he got terminated. Not what he got terminated for. At all. No. See, Clover, if you actually looked at the second live stream, Ace actually pulls up why Blackish got terminated. Well, like the 6-year-old. Yeah, I love them. They're Jazzware's old Halo figures I got from eBay. That's good. I hope you got like a really good deal on it because it's really hard to get really cool stuff for like a decent price nowadays. Like originally I was looking on eBay for like the computer I have crowdfunding on. By the way, wink wink nudge nudge. It should be in the description. Hopefully it is. Oh, that's sick. Like, you rarely find figures in even remotely decent conditions nowadays. It's like nobody is scalping them at retail. Hello, Gabby! Why are we on Mummy Desk? Hi, gorgeous girl! My cat says hi. She's like, stop ignoring me, mother. Stop ignoring me in favor of streaming. I demand your love. Come here. Come here. Come here. Mwah! Mwah, mwah, mwah. Would you like a treat? Someone subscribe. We're gonna do the treat song. We're gonna do the treat song, Gabby. Only Jazzware's figure wasn't the second hand. Was my Ooh! Honestly, cool names too. Hopefully this picks up on mic. You know what? We're gonna get two. It's time to give the Kibby a very special treat. It's time to give the Kibby a treat on the Abyssal Grey stream today. There we go, yeah. Head pats? Good job! Yeah. She is now deliciously munching on her tweets. My baby. My baby girl. My honey bunny. Mochi really loves the tube treats, but I don't have enough to, like, really do, like, treat songs with Mochi. Aw, meow. Yeah, meow. I stole the treat song from Falgi. I went over to the rotting husk of the op block channel, ripped open that casket, and stole the treat song. But then again, he did base it off, like, the Muppets intro. So, yeah. My song now. Fuck you, Falgi. Let's continue.
Stories about a haunted duplex that I used to live in.
Next up is the Blackish versus Anthony stream, which we're skipping because I don't trust anyone who willingly associates with Sice and Sam the Minor scribbles.
Hang on.
About Schrodinger's douchebag, do you understand what I'm talking about?
Stories about a haunted duplex that I used to
I'm
live in.
gonna see that,
Next
like,
up
bottom
is the Blackish
part.
versus Anthony stream, which we're skipping because I don't trust anyone who.
Also, Ace was right in this stream. So, you ignored the stream. You ignored the stream where Ace was right because Ace was right. You willfully didn't even watch. So you did watch the stream, but you wanted to make your video so bad you left it out because Ace was right. Bad fucking faith right here. Oh, this pisses me off. And, like, not even, like, overall, I'm, like, more pissed for Ace because this came out of left fucking field. This video should have went straight into the garbage can.
Willingly associates with Sice and Sam the Minor scribbles. Also, it's just more of the same stuff. Now
More
let's
of
get
the
into third
same
stream,
stuff.
Duplex versus Blackish.
More of the same stuff where Ace was right, so Oh my god. Oh my god. You were actually malicious. Good. Great. Fucking evil.
Is how Ace tries to frame Duplex does art as the horrible, evil bad guy, and Black is just the victim,
That's
which is not the
that's
case.
not
In fact,
what Ace was even doing. Ace wasn't like painting Duplex to be this horrible, evil, terrible person. Was Ace a little heated, if not a lot heated? By Duplex's video? Yeah. But it's like not. Ace was very. Okay. Granted, Ace's stream is a little, like, a little bit, not even a lot. A little heated. That is because he's Blackish's friend. And it was like the third time he had to go on stream to talk about Blackish and someone who talked about Blackish. Yeah, he's gonna be more than a little miffed. But that's all he was. He was miffed. He wasn't even pissed. He didn't paint Duplex to be this awful, horrible human being. Duplex's video, everyone has like a right to say what they want to say about the video. If you actually paid attention to the stream, Ace had a lot of criticisms of it that weren't even like, oh, Duplex should fucking end themselves in Minecraft. No, it wasn't even that. It was just, hey, don't speak in absolutes, don't word things like that here, don't use death threats, and I hope they game in themselves interchangeably since they're not the same thing. You know, criticisms that anyone else would have. And here's the thing. A lot of Ace wasn't even being harsh, like overly like harsh. He was critical, but he wasn't like mean. He's like he spoke very civilly with Duplex on that stream. They have open DMs with each other. And they're trying to get like a Blackish called together so that Blackish and Dupe can actually have a conversation and really like talk it out. The only reason that hasn't like really happened is due to scheduling conflicts. But overall, Ace wasn't like painting Duplex to be terrible, awful human being. He was being critical. Critical.
if you watch Duplex's video, which I'm doing while writing this script, I'd argue
that was a mistake. That was a fucking mistake. What I recommend doing is, so that you're able to see what Ace was talking about in that stream, watch a Duplex video, then watch the Ace stream, where he goes over the problems with Dupe's video. Watch the video again. That way you're able to easily see what he saw is wrong with the video. And where his criticisms and advice for Dupe actually applies.
That is the opposite. Ace
And a lot of why you can't really like watch first time around videos is because a lot of your script is going to be knee-jerk thoughts. I've watched this video in particular several times while making my Clover video that's now never gonna see the light of day. I'm sorry. I mean, I could apply a lot of I could just take what I've said so far in this stream and actually make it into a video. I'll probably do that. And just add some like goofy editing.
repeatedly calls Duplex's video a hit piece, which just isn't true.
And as you know, the guy's channel's been terminated, so some people have tried to use that as a chance to take a victory lap.
Hang on.
A hit piece is a piece of media. It's the opposite. Ace also repeatedly calls Duplex's video a
that?
hit piece, which just isn't true.
And as you know, the guy's channel's been terminated, so some people have tried to use that as a chance to take a victory lap.
And we're gonna turn down the video a little bit. Back 10 seconds.
This is video.
We're gonna pause that. Because I need to see that screenshot. Doesn't help that a lot of the video examples are also like screen recordings. Blackish exposed. Blackish hit piece. Hang on. He also put it in the title and description. I'm going to this is probably going to be misconstrued by Clover as me sweeping for Ace. That's a clickbait title. Yeah, a lot of people who need like catchy titles really quickly. Catchy titles on YouTube. That way people are able to find your content more. It's clickbaity, it's awful, like awfully weird. But that's how content creation works. You have to get people's attention. Because a lot of it is like so very, yeah, broom emojis in chat. A lot of it is very, YouTube is very attention focused. That's why you rarely see commentary creators on the YouTube For You page. And at the end of the day, despite Ace calling it a hit piece, it wasn't a hit piece. But people are gonna feel how they feel about the video. You trying to ascribe it to... And I'm back, I fell asleep. Welcome back, Anosaxo. Did you have a good nap? Or, like, good eat? I hope you did. But a lot of... with the animation channels, not only did they have to have a stylized thumbnail, like a thumbnail for the video, they also have to title it a certain way, such as my like the condom story from that one animation channel. It has to be like titled rubbers, buying rubbers with friends for the first time. Because on YouTube you can't title things condoms, because condoms are adult material. Yeah, I missed everything. Oh, you missed so much. But that's fine. Today we'll be discussing a hit piece made on Blackish that was made by someone who doesn't, and it cuts off.
A hit piece is a piece of media made specifically to ruin someone's reputation. Duplex's video was just saying, hey, this guy said I needed to die. And you may not agree with me on this, but I think your reputation deserves to be ruined if you're out here saying that people should die. Innocent people.
Your
people who did nothing to you other than say, hey.
Your reputation deserves to be ruined. We're gonna go back about
Agree with me on this, but I think your reputation deserves to be ruined if you're out here saying that people should die. Innocent people. People who did nothing to you other than say, hey, this is weird behavior.
Blackish was like fed up with the Husband Hotel community. That's what that crash out was directed towards. Not specifically towards Duplex, who at the time was part of the Husband Hotel community, but was also directed at like people he just didn't like Pink King and Anthony Gramigula. Because apparently, like, he wasn't like allowed to give his opinion on the my brain's farting really hard. He wasn't allowed to give his specific opinion on Has-Been Hotel without being jumped every other day. And here's the thing. I hate Has-Been Hotel. I think that it's garbage. That is my opinion. Blackish is allowed to have an opinion. But here's the thing. And this is where I kind of defend Blackish a little bit. Yeah, he shouldn't have said a lot of what he ended up saying. However, I can understand why he even said it. And that is because a lot of... He was brain farting right now. That is because he's at his wit's end with a community who didn't fucking take his opinion well. And that's his right as a content creator who watched the show and didn't like what he saw, is to vocalize that specific dislike. He's allowed to have an opinion. And then you have people like Anthony Gramigula out here on Megan Thee Stallion's internet taking him out of context on purpose to pedo-jack him, first of all. Second of all, in a very similar breath, would try and say that Metamorphosis, the shit you'd see in Metamorphosis, which, by the way, I'm going to say this. Metamorphosis is a 18 plus comic, hentai, about a 15-year-old girl being repeatedly raped, pregnant with a rape baby, and ends with her overdosing on narcotics and fucking miscarrying her baby in a public bathroom. And then Gramigula says he wants more of that in media. Specifically, a lot more in anime. That is a massive red flag. Because, okay, I'm into some weird shit, right? Specifically, non-con and depcon, right? However, I'm not going to endorse something like Metamorphosis because you can tell that despite the artistic liberties Anthony tries to apply to Metamorphosis, it was made for entertainment. It wasn't made with this specific narrative in mind. It was made for pleasure. It was made so that people could specifically get off to the subject matter of a 15-year-old girl being brutalized in many ways. That's why it's a fucking hentai. Because hentai is a form of pornography that is specifically made for titillation. Anthony, your goon material is fucked. And I'm saying that as an erogoro horror porn artist who draws a lot of fucked shit. Yeah. Misery porn at its finest. Yeah, that's what it is. It's misery porn. The suffering is what you get off on, Anthony. There's a reason why the things in Berserk are allowed to be in there, but not the stuff in Metamorphosis. One depicts it horrifically. The other depicts it in pleasure. You draw a lot of fucked shit. Yes. That's my branding. I draw fucked shit. I like fucked shit. But I'm not trying to ascribe autistic intent in a lot of things. And I actually turn off a lot of... When I stream the games I like, you're still live? Yes, I'm still live. I had to get Streamlabs because OBS was that bad. He has a kid. Okay, the fact that he has kids isn't a factor. You like fucked shit as an NSFW artist. Yeah. You literally draw fucked. Yes, Fishy, I do. You draw fucked shit. Change the model. I want to see your doll. My doll form? Okay. Give me a second. It's all the way down here. There we go. I need to shrink it by a lot. Hang on. Hang on. Here's the doll. I need to actually get rid of the bouncing because it's gonna be disorienting. Let's see. No, that's program settings. Avatar settings. Yeah. We're gonna just stop this effect. That way it lights up. Wow, you weren't kidding. You follow instructions quick. Salamat po. Pretty please. Oh. Damn. Oh, why am I getting pinged again? Info is getting ice cream. There we go. Back to...
Will definitely stand stern on, because we've already talked about this. I've had him on stream, like back on the Pink King stream. And the problem was, he wanted a bunch of caricatures for VivziePop for a video, but he said no limits. Now, the problem with that, when you say no limits...
Would they make him really fat or something?
No, so it's the potential that people will take that no limits and do something extremely unhinged. Now, luckily, the worst of it was a trans soy jack and a Charlie Kirk.
He forgets about the cattle branding, but here's the thing. Time has passed between the first Blackish video and the duplex video. Like, a lot of time. So Ace was able to really know what the problem with the no limit stuff actually was. Yeah, you would be able to see it if you actually looked at all the streams.
Traced over Charlie Kirk. Now, granted, you could still say that could be a bit too far. That's not what he personally requested. But the thing that I had an issue with is people were saying that it was guaranteed that Blackish was asking for rape art of VivziePop, and that's just not at all what was once asked.
You know, you could give Blackish the benefit of the doubt and say that Blackish isn't responsible for what his audience does. If he did the bare minimum and told his rabid fan base to not, I don't know, make racist caricatures of a real woman, but he didn't do that.
Vivzie is Latina. She is not Israeli. For the millionth time. Also, Blackish, and this is a criticism of Blackish, really didn't take into account that a lot of his audience, there's in every audience, there's that one unhinged fan. That's why you hear no brigading, no like harassment in a lot of content creators when they talk about something is it's saying, hey, I don't approve of anyone going after this person. I never asked for it. I'd rather them not get harassed. So on and so forth. I'm gonna say that a lot, sorry. Oh, thank you, Fishy. I'm gonna look at them later. I really appreciate it. You've now entertained my autism, though unprompted, and have exhibited a willingness to do. So, you will be flooded. Congratulations. Not what he asked for, but his audience are entitled. A lot of we actually know someone who's in Blackish's community who kept like going into Blackish's replies on Twitter and just giving them like face pictures to make fun of on his videos. Blackish turned around and said, I'm not okay with that. No, can you I don't like it. I don't want it. He disavowed that behavior. He never said it was okay. Oh, Maha, why are you saying whoa?
He did the exact opposite.
Thinking was acting like Blackish was a horrible guy. That's like, I don't know anyone associated with them, but the trick here is they've been associated with each other, right? He cut him off when he became bad optics. But the problem is he knew all the things he did. He was actually like rooting his side circles videos despite his distasteful jokes that he had an issue with. So it looked like because that was the whole big thing about like the whole Pinking versus Blackish stuff. Pinking couldn't help but look like a audience captured optics individual. And that was a huge point of contention. So he just looked like he was trying to be a little sneaky with it and trying to deceive his audience. Like, yeah, I have no idea he was like this, despite knowing full well. It's stupid. It's very dumb. That's the original reason why this was brought up. But
that's not what happened at all, actually.
Oh yeah, what
Pinking
did happen?
Never acted like he didn't know what was going on. He knew about the horrible and bigoted shit Blackish was saying, but he never said anything about it because he thought he was just joking and didn't actually mean any of what he was saying. Then the caricature stuff happened, and then he realized, nope, no, he wasn't joking. He's generally just a piece of
Clover, are you friends with Pinking? Yes, you can give benefit of the doubt. Oh my gosh, now I have more sound bites. Thank you, Fishy. Oh, these titles are so fucking cursed.
it's like hopeless peaches. Hopeless peaches.
What the fuck? I'm not playing anymore. At least not this stream. Oh. I'm saying well because the bloody non-con art comment. Yeah, that was actually a misconception that everyone who like even like heard of the Blackish stuff, because it's because of the no limits comment that he added on. He never received any explicit artwork, explicitly sexual artwork of Vivian Madrano. He has confirmed this. Ace has also confirmed it. This is not even a "there is no war in Ba Sing Se" kind of comment. No, it just doesn't fucking exist. Like, I checked. Everyone checked. Like, I didn't really have to check because Ace just outright says it. Yeah, there is no non-con art. Vivian Madrano was not drawn sexually. Not even with the Epstein jokes. There's no sexual artwork of Vivian Madrano.
I wouldn't have talked about it, as you even listed yourself. You've done many things, and I never once called you out on it because I didn't think it was crossing the line. In my opinion, it was just you making content to entertain people. You weren't going too far, you were just appealing to a crowd that you had gathered. Even if it was itchy, that's all I thought it was. But going out of your way to ask your community to draw caricatures that you even acknowledged to me over DMs had submissions that went too far, it's wrong. And to an extent, you know it's wrong too, otherwise you wouldn't have told me that you understood why people would be upset by it. And the thing that really puts the icing on this cake here is that there was another way you could have done this whole character angle. You could have made it clear from the start what was and wasn't allowed, but instead you said no limits. And all the type of content, the people who watch it are most likely going to go over the top with it. So of course, people are going to take it too far. Look, I'm a critic at the end of the day. I believe in keeping things as objective as possible. Hence why I usually try to avoid toxic situations just like this. Yeah, I make videos, making fun of Reddit posts and responding to dumb comments and whatnot, but I never outwardly ask my fans to go and do toxic stuff for me. Hell, even in my YouTube post, when I talked about you, I told my audience to not harass you, and I even wished you nothing but the best because I don't think you're a bad guy. Even still, I don't think you're a bad guy. What I do believe is that when you criticize media, even if it's coming from someone you believe to be terrible, you don't lower yourself to doing schematic tactics. At that point, you're just asking the fans of the very creative you talk about to come back and attack you. At that point, you're not actually progressing anything, you're just creating an endless loop because you're not giving any genuine critiques anymore. You're just encouraging bullying.
Quick question, Ace. Do you actually watch any of the videos you cover? Like, I know you only watch 30
He watches them on stream. I have been given more now. Oh, so many. I don't think I can play these. I'm still tiny. Would be crazy if there was. Even then, why her out of all people? Blackish's humor is more offensive, and as part of his humor, he would talk about Vivian Madrano because along with his humor, he would talk about Vivian Madrano's show and criticize it, as well as Vivian herself. Now, a lot of why there was Israeli artwork specifically of Vivian is because Vivian Madrano is a creative who is, in a way, supporting the state of Israel. And with, like, everything going on with Palestine in the background. Clover did not know about the Palestine stuff and why that was being critical. By the way, Blackish is black. I have to say this because it's gonna be relevant. A lot of his humor is very offensive. Not a lot of people like it. For me, I just don't think that a lot of his humor is all that great. That is my opinion. A lot of people are allowed to like him. Now, this is me being fair to Blackish here. Again, he wasn't he wasn't intending on being taken seriously, obviously. Otherwise, he would have went about things a lot differently. I can tell that. Another issue with the characters is one of the caricatures that went too far is the cattle branding one, where it's Vivian Madrano being depicted brutally cattle branded. And not even like the cold cattle brand, it was the scorching hot metal cattle brand on her forehead of the Star of David. Blackish has turned around and said that went too far, and that's why he didn't show it. That's why it was blurred by a lot, because it went too far. Does it make the fact that he didn't specify, like, limits? Hard limits? No. It doesn't excuse that. It explains a lot of his thought process because, he was, like, originally a very small, more niche creator until he, I think, began covering a lot more media, like Husband Hotel and anime. And then, like, people who were being critical of him, and I'm saying critical really lightly, he was, like, lied about in regards to Lolicon by Anthony Gramigula. The same Anthony Gramigula who really, really likes Metamorphosis, did that, seemingly got away with it, and a lot of the Husband Hotel community was, like, very, very not great when it comes to criticism, because a large majority of the Husband Hotel community really is, like, allergic to any hard criticism. You know, like fandoms tend to do. I'm just sketching this out. Pot meat kettle behavior. Yeah. Big problem if you like Metamorphosis. Exactly! Exactly! And please no, I don't like Blackish by any means, but I still think he's allowed to have a platform. It's just his content is naturally not going to be for me, and that's fine. Certain content isn't going to be for everyone, and that is fine. Indie projects having rabid fans, tale as old as Homestuck. Exactly! You should have seen the Undertale fandom. You should have seen it back in the heyday, because it was ravenous. Like, the whole Sans fangirl thing came about after Undertale, like, became a big thing. It's in large part, a problem with fandom as a whole. But I'm gonna stop yapping and get back to watching.
Seconds of Duplex's video before going live and labeling it a hit piece. Did you actually stop to look at any of what PK was saying, or did you just see that he was criticizing your Pookie and immediately hop on live to go, no guys, he's not bad, he's just joking? Speaking of joking, you said that you can separate edgy jokes from hateful speech, yet in your first stream you defended obvious hateful behavior with it's just a joke. So let me ask you another question. Do you actually know the difference between edgy jokes and hateful speech? Because I don't think you do. To be honest, I don't think most people understand the difference between those two, which honestly deserves its own video because too many people think that edgy humor is just, I hate minorities. Now laugh. Laugh at the bigotry. Let me put it in a way that everyone can understand. Edgy humor is South Park. What Blackish is doing is Lucas Nev Cherubim.
Doesn't Blackish say slurs? Also, why is your fucking music louder than you? The only thing I really can put in with Has-Been Hotel fans is that they're nefarious for being racist or some shit. Yeah, like, if you paid attention to, like, Alistair's design, he was incredibly fucking pale in the pilot. But, like, after it got picked up by Amazon in A24 and they were able to, like, you could see a lot of black features appear in Alistair. Hi, queer. Hi, Yan. OBS kicked my ass yet again, and I rage quit OBS, got Streamlabs, because no matter what I did to fix it, it just wouldn't work. I'll give you some content soon. Yummers. We have been graced by the Yennefer, who is going to tell us we're gonna have dinner. Which is awesome. Sorry, I'm just working on hair stuff. because I want this to be perby.
That stream. If I watch any more, I think I might actually explode, so we're just gonna move on.
That's vividly disgusting.
I wholeheartedly believe that Blackish is an alt-right loser at best and a full-blown neo-Nazi at worst.
Blackish is black. Want to know what the neo-Nazi thing is in regards to? Jennifer, Sheetan, that's evil. Oh, Sheetan, that's evil. When the video finished uploading. Wait. Fuck my... Hold on. Wait. Hang on. Hang on, I'm gonna camp my, my browser on Yen's channel. But Blackish is a black man. That is relevant because neo-Nazis, fun fact, hate black people. No, it's not the video you want. No, those are in my shorts. Your shorts? Hang on. Derail. Oh. We're gonna, like, camp on the shorts part of the channel, but I'm gonna explain this. Neo-Nazis hate black people. That is because neo-Nazis are racist. Like, Klansmen, like, more than equal level racist as Klansmen, right? They believe that one drop of non-white blood doesn't make you white. At all. And, stuff like that. No, I was joking. What I said, you goof. I know what you want, it's not it. Blame Lyle. Lyle, what did you do? You know what? Lyle, what did you do? Lyle. We're gonna wait a moment because I don't know where to specifically go. We're gonna hold off for a minute. I'm gonna switch between the two sides. Blackish is black. What do you mean? I'm just gonna pull up a segment from Duplex's video. Oh my god, no! Oh, there's also a Thuman video. Dude. Here we go. Go to the Blackish video.
Ah, yes, this video.
Right here.
Was anybody mad at Blackish for using the N-word? Do they not know he's black?
Here it is. A lot of people did not know Blackish was, well, black. We're gonna pull this up. This is from Duplex's video, by the way.
Do none of these horny animals know that I'm black?
Yeah, there. There we go. I have not showed the peak art yet. I've had technical difficulties So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna go into my server. And we're gonna go into the fan art area. It's so cute. Let me give me a second. I don't have like a specific fan art thing, but behold what Netherless made. Hang on. It's so fucking adorable. Hang on. You must see the art Netherless made. Hang on. I have to actively resize. It's not like people don't know that Toastify is a bit toasty. Here we go. Look, behold, look how cute this is. It's so cute. Ah! I love it when people make art of me in like anything. Awooga must draw. I saw Busty Death Woman, and my brain went, Awooga must draw. Well, I'm gonna put this in a folder. Ooh, very pretty. I love the little glow effect. I love the little glow effect. It's so cool. And then the moon in the background. Also nice tips. Very cute. It's very beautiful. I love it. I need to do like a slideshow thing in like the corner of the screen where like everyone can like see the fan art I got so far. It's so pretty. Dude, I uploaded the wrong video. I almost uploaded the damn whip ponder file. No. We're gonna give Yen a few more minutes to. Good job, Yen. Proud of you. Well, Yen experiences technical difficulties. We're gonna return to the Clover Bites video.
In other news, the sky is blue. No, but seriously, the reason I brought up Lucas never touched a woman is because both him and Blackish said gross, bigoted shit and tried to play it off as a joke. But one thing a lot of people don't seem to understand is that the "it's just a joke" defense flies out the window when you start threatening people, both morally and in the eyes of law. Going back to Blackish, he is straight up transphobic and homophobic. He himself has admitted to saying the F slur despite not being queer in any way, shape, or form.
He is.
Also
we already said this. He's bisexual. It's been confirmed by not just himself, but also Ace, who is one of his friends. I want to specify that now.
Two people that I'm aware of, one of which wasn't even trans, but the intention was there.
He has the pass. Also, Doodle's Jin is asexual. She can also say the F slur. Oh, okay, these are cute. These are no, that is Elite Enforcer mentioned. These are like so. This is so cool. I love it. Okay, the one with the sledging machine is also like really cool because it. Oh. Okay, these are awesome. So awesome.
The other is Limus. We all know Limus, and we hate her. I hate her for more personal reasons on top of the fact that she's a child diddler, and as much as I don't want to even sound like I'm defending.
She's not a child diddler, she's irresponsible with her server. But in order to prove she's a child diddler, you have to prove in your video that she's a child diddler. You understand what's coming out of my mouth, right, Clover? Like, I know this video is like from 3 weeks ago, and Clover's probably not gonna watch the video. But Clover, you can't just link the doc. You have to show evidence, because not everyone's gonna look in the description. Yeah, not everyone's gonna look at the description. It's just a lot of people are just gonna either watch and move on, like unless prompted to actually look in the comments, like in the comments or description, they're just not gonna do it.
Her, considering how much I genuinely want her dead. That isn't a joke, by the way, Limus. If I see you in the streets, it's on sight. But I think
Whose side are we on, though? Neither. We're on neither side. I need a better TLDR of this, though. TLDR, Clover Bytes made an incredibly poor hit piece on another content creator named Ace Space, claiming that he's a sweeper when he's not. Like, you can joke he's a sweeper, it's not going to change the fact that he's not a sweeper. We're on the side of Clover probably shouldn't have put this video out, if not put it in the oven for a little longer. Hey, you didn't give me a proper TLDR. Don't give me attitude. Fine. TLDR, this video sucks. We're talking about it because 1, it's genuinely bad. 2, it's poorly researched. Shh, yen. But, they also have this beef with Mushroom Girl that's like almost 3 years old over a video that Mushroom Girl made about pro shipping. That, yeah, aren't the greatest takes, but MG is art's done, by the way, in your DMs. Ooh. Also, honestly, you gotta make the TV a little bigger. Oh, thank you for letting me know. We're gonna make the TV a little bigger. There we go. Do you want to make it here bigger? Also, I think I've heard of Mushroom Girl. That's the pro shipper one, right? Yeah, the almost 3-year-old video about pro shipping. Like, I don't like the pro shipping video because I'm learning your American drama very well. The one that she doesn't. No, that's the other one. Unless that's more recent. But I'm talking about the one from 2 years ago. Yeah, that's big enough. Way better. Yay! I didn't know if you were like still working on it or not. Hang on. It's the one you like. I honestly also need to make art of us doing this. I need to save the image. Because not only is it cute as fuck. Wait, I did not TMT. Okay, I'm gonna hold off. And while we hold off on showing the art, we are going to resume this video.
Important to mention that Blackish clearly doesn't care about the children she victimized. He's just using this situation as an excuse to get away with being transphobic. And allow me to pull a just a robot if the genders were reversed real quick. If Limus was a cis woman, Blackish wouldn't have misgendered her. Hi, it's Editing Cloverbytes here again. I just realized I said that Blackish wouldn't misgender a cis person right after saying he misgendered a cis person, so let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that with a hypothetical and definitely not real scenario. Susie Diddletones, we all know her and we all know what she did, right?
We can never escape. I'm very slow. I'm still on Yukiwara drama. I'll hold off Lockjaw and everything. Oh, I'm holding off on like showing anything until like you're ready for me to show. Announcements. Oh, the Lindsay Clancy. We're gonna check this out because we're gonna check out Yen's brand new right off the griddle video here in a second. Ooh, more stuff, more stuff. Yay!
Let's say that another person did exactly what she did. And by did exactly what she did, I mean defend a predator, allowing
That's
him to
not
stay
the
in the
same
community
thing.
and then harm, and well, in this case, attempt to harm another person. And the person who defended that predator is a cis man. And Blackish is not under the impression that they are trans. I can guarantee you that Blackish would not misgender that cis man. Oh, so this part is unrelated, but I literally just realized that the microphone quality in Vita, the editor I was using before, is way worse than it is now. So it was probably the app the whole time. I know a lot of people generally don't understand why it's a bad thing to misgender someone as evil as Limus, which honestly is another thing that deserves its own video. So
Sangiri. Sangiris. I follow like a live streamer, right? Long time no see, Gray. Hi, Purple Heart Nintendo Mail. Huh? Show that weirdo. Oh, you mean the art you sent me? Okay. I didn't know if it was like a whip, like something you're still working on or not. But I can do that. Give me a second. I also horrifically misnamed the file because a lot of my files try to save as like the title is image, and then when I go to save the image, it goes, "Would you like to replace image with image?" I'm just trying to understand the video right now. American accents are a bit hard to figure out. It gets worse if you. I thought you were talking about like the art mahal, but it gets worse accent wise depending on which part of the United. Oh no, I didn't. Damn it to you! I put it in fan art. Oh, you put it in fan art. Hang on. Speed over to fan art. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna save over this. Okay. Prepare for peak. Okay. I'm also working right now. Okay. It's in fan art gallery. Look at this. It's so cute. Holy shit. I would make that face. Like, huh? I'm still sorting out accents in my head. I know I like the way you say my name, though. I didn't say share it on stream. It's in fan art gallery. I like it. You mean? And I just stuffed it in my pockets. Get lipstick that doesn't smudge. Yeah. I gotta get like the nice bougie black lipstick. But accents get like infinitely more confusing. We can match PFPs later though. Absolutely. I am making that my fucking PFP. I love it. I love it. I love it. I need to calm down. It's so pretty. Putting it on the fridge. No, what I eventually want to do is get like print out the art I get and laminate it. And the reason why I want it laminated is because preservation, and I can put it in picture frames and hang them on my wall. Or just like put it somewhere like really nice. Cause I have a laminated signed copy, like signed by actually one of the original Ninja Turtles from the 1980s anime. By the voice actor of Leonardo. And I plan on having that framed. It's already like laminated, so yeah. But I can't like really hang stuff up now because of where I'm living. But yeah. Selma Paul Harp. Eh. We're gonna unpause the video.
Leave you with this. If you're having trouble, criticize them for their actions and not because they're trans. By now you're probably wondering, why am I bringing this up? If this was just some random weirdo sweeping for Blackish, I wouldn't be making this video. But hey Ace, aren't you friends with a couple trans people? Aren't you friends with queer people? Why?
I hate this part because what Clover's trying to do is trying to. I'm surprised you're still up streaming right now. It's like 3:22 p.m. Like my time. But what Clover's trying to do is, yeah, they're referring to Yen without using Yen's name. That is, even Yen saying it in the chat. Clover even confirmed it. What Clover's trying to do is really sneaky. Is they are trying to use Yen. It's like a hypocrisy point when Yen is a person. Yen and Ace are friends. They've been friends for a good long while. They've been on each other's streams. They've streamed together, actually. That's right. Forgot about that. And I don't think it's guilt by association. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is guilt by association. Which is, oh, you're friends with this person? Well, you're a fucking scumbag. Yeah, it's that. Ace is trying to, like, Clover is trying to use Ace's friendship. I'm just a girl. A Barbie girl. In a Barbie world. Wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic. Jokes aside, Clover is weaponizing Ace's friendship with Blackish using Ace's friendship with Yen. It's kind of like people trying to say, if people try to say, oh, you're friends with Sheeton, yet Sheeton says slurs. But you're also friends with. Someone actually did try to say that, because like Sheeton made like a distasteful joke post that he later like disavowed. I had people in my Tumblr anons try and say, oh, how could you be friends with Sheeton? Sheeton is this true mate. The post no longer exists. I'm confirming that now because Tumblr, being the ultra silly that the platform is, Jack is Aussie, Yen. He comes from the same country as Mitch, but not like the same area, if that makes sense. I recently learned about the Australian highway, and goddamn, y'all have a complex highway. The mate gave it away. I am also Asian. It is true. He is also very Asian. Like, one of the many things that, like, a lot of people disagree with is, Sheetan's stance on AI for shit posts, but not for, replacing content creators. And he has a very, shit post only rule for himself. I want to get to my video. Gray has the brain of a frog. I have the brain of a coked out frog. A lot of the times. I'm also trying to do the epic streamer thing of talking to my audience. Because I was... Okay, I'm gonna get back to this.
Actively sweeping for someone who openly hates a demographic of people you are friends with. I don't know about you, but if I were friends with a lot of queer people, I wouldn't be sweeping for someone who actively hates them. That's just me, though. The door opened! I could finally leave! Well, that video took a hot minute to edit, mainly because Vita Editor kept not wanting to frickin' work. Ace, if you somehow made it to the end of this video, grow up. Someone who still watches PBS Kids at the grown age of 18 should not ever be the one telling people they're acting like children.
Why are you admitting to watching PBS Kids? That's just opening the door for people to just troll you with that fact. On the reg. Like, there are things I will not admit to. You will not waterboard out of me, because I know what commentary is gonna do with that information. We don't do that here. Only content. No thoughts. Only content. Anyway, if you like PBS Kids, that's fine. Probably don't admit that out loud as you're trying to condemn someone for sweeping for a content creator you don't like.
Also, don't defend people who suck. And another thing, I'm not debating you because I'm pretty sure you aren't even watching this part of the video right now. Also, I don't feel like being in a server full of incels. Remember, kids, hope is a myth, happiness is a delusion, and we're all doomed. I'll see you in the next one.
What the fuck is that ending? Also, as someone who's part of Ace's server, a lot of us just bully Ace. And or talk about silly things like sangiris. It's very... A lot of American internet or words I do not understand. I am an incel, by the way, proud Ace server member. Yes, a lot of it is like pictures of fishies figures, sound bites. Last night, I got like tagged into a UTTP post. First one, don't like it. I actually turned off mentions because of it. But a lot of us just didn't take it seriously because literally the first line is, "My father, Ace Space, kicked me out of New Jersey." And we joked about, like, and not me deleting Fishy's messages. Don't delete Fishy's messages, Yen, please. And we joked about, like, because Ace is not, like, into, like, sexual stuff. So we're like, Ace just reproduces asexually. Kind of like how, like, some animals reproduce asexually. And I'm like, oh, so you're... And I made the joke of, and you're familiar, if you're familiar with it. Yeah, I saw that shit. I'm guessing like the bot is just hiding Fishy's comments. If that is true. But I made the joke of anytime Ace laughs, a fairy is born, and that's how he like reproduces asexually. And that is based off the Disney movie of Tinkerbell. And it like devolved into me posting a link to a video where it's just Dean Winchester from Supernatural screaming "Fight the fairies" as he's getting arrested. Like it devolved. And then someone going, "No, you have to delete Ace in order to delete the children," which is a reference to Supernatural's lore on werewolves. And then joke about silver being expensive because of the economy. So, point debunked. Let's get to Yennefer's video. Yen posted a video. Yen has waited very patiently for us to watch the video. So what we're gonna do is watch the video. Mahal, I'm heading to bed. It's super late. Yes, go to bed. Mamoise. Get some sleep. Or I hunt you down in Australia, give you forehead kiss, and make you sleep. You get the cool new intro. Ooh! Let's change the thing over to YouTube. And Yen posted, I'll rewatch this in the morning and continue because I'm interested. Good night. Good night. Let's head over to Yen's channel. It is 13 minutes, 39 seconds. And the title is These creators are defending a murder. A beep. We're not going to put it on 1.5 stream, 1.5 speed. The fuck is this? Ew. But we're not going to put it, we're going to leave it on normal, but we're going to add captions. We're going to watch this. Hot and fresh and as intended. Normal speed. Ooh! Oh, that's so cute! Oh my gosh, I love it. Hang on. I want to see who made that. Where is it? The credits. Where are the credits? This is beautiful. But
for those of you who haven't been looking at the news, on January the 24th,
oh, hang on.
2020.
Rewind that a little bit. There we go.
For those of you who haven't been looking at the news, on January the 24th, 2023, Lindsay Classy murdered 3 of her children in her home, the children being aged 8 months old, 3 years old, and 5 years old. And to be honest, the case seems pretty cut and dry, but the main discourse has been discussion of Lindsay's mental health, with her defense arguing postmortem depression and a lack in mental health support. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it is awful what happened to Lindsay, and solely in the sense that the health system failed her after she made several attempts to seek help and calling helplines. However, this is not the focus of this video. What I want to talk about is the batshit comments people have been making on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, trying to make excuses for Lindsay's actions and making baseless claims against Mr. Clancy, Lindsay's ex-husband in this case. Because holy shit, some people are just deranged. As a baseline for this situation, the prosecution's main argument is the fact that Lindsay sent her husband on errands to allow for her time to commit the crime. There is no evidence to prove that the husband was at the house when the crime was committed, but TikTok experts will tell you differently. And some people are sympathizing with Lindsay, and here is an example of this.
A big thing is I feel disconnected with myself. Time, reality. I think going back to work will help with that. She wrote
While holding your baby. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Same Lindsay.
That, right?
How can you—
Oh my god. That is... what the fuck? Fuck off, Clover.
You sit here and say same whilst holding—
Oh, I'll credit later, I forgot. Okay. Dot made it. Dot is the person who made the really based, really poggers, really adorable video intro. It's so cute. But that's insane. You're going same in regards to someone who murdered her children while holding your baby. Oh my god.
your child. Jesus Christ. But anyways, here's the next one.
Okay, the way that y'all are piecing apart and piecing together this Lindsay Clancy trial, if I ever go missing or if I'm murdered, I do not want a trial and I don't want the police involved. I want my family or whoever to upload everything to TikTok and let the TikTok detectives solve it. Okay? I'm gonna upload this for a digital photo.
How to get away with murder? Let the TikTok detectives do everything. Because that's smart.
Print/digital evidence that I want my TikTok detectives to solve it because I know you will. Okay, thanks.
Let me get this right. You want the people who use zodiac signs with their gut feeling to look for you instead of the police. Right.
Hang on.
With their...
Leos don't kill, Geminis do. False. Leos don't kill their cubs. Nope. Not buying it. If he's a Gemini and she's a Leo, it's a toxic. It was toxic between them. He did it. And that's all I need to know. What the fuck? Oh. That is diabolical.
Gut feeling to look for you instead of the police. Right. Like, this could just be parody, but given a lot of the examples I will be showing you, I doubt it is.
Lindsay Clancy's DNA was not found on the exercise bands or on the knife.
You don't know that. And the caption says, Patrick Clancy did it. Lindsay Clancy is innocent. Her lawyer is setting up this for a trial to prove she is innocent.
I'm making all these videos talking about how Patrick Clancy did it and he's framing her, and there are people in the comments that think I'm crazy. Are you guys watching the same trial as me or not? What if her lawyer is setting this all up so that there is a trial to prove that she is innocent and Patrick Clancy is the one that did this? It's so crazy because I did not think that this is how this was going to go whatsoever until the trial started. When I heard about this case, I just believed the news. I believed everything. She did it. She was going through psychosis or postpartum psychosis, and she's
allegedly.
this trial.
She's
and
allegedly
her-
going through postpartum psychosis. Bands are the... Are they the elastic workout bands? The reason why I asked this... Hang on. I'm gonna make a point. If they are, I'm going... Okay, I'm back. Yes, strangulation. Okay. For those who are unaware, elastic workout bands are stretchy rubber that you use to help work out your muscles, and specifically the tension in it. Like, if you were to use it as a strangulation weapon, you would have to bind it around both your hands multiple times, and then go around where you're attacking. The reason why I pointed out is these are durable. So even if you use a tremendous amount of force, I watch way too much true crime. It takes a lot of force to really snap these puppies, because they're made to withstand a lot of tension and pulling. And you got to really consider how kids, specifically some that are under the age of 10, if not preteens, they're not fully developed physically. So even the 3-year-old, that's because their bodies are a lot more fragile really early on in life. So it would have to take a lot of planning and consideration, lots of planning. From what little I've known so far, just from watching this video, it is clear that Lindsay planned it out. Because exercise bands, did they say that exercise bands are snapped? It takes a lot of force, and if they did snap, that means she was adding incredible amounts of pressure when she committed the crime. Enough to actually snap it, because, hang on. I'm gonna simulate this with my foot. So far, my foot is not even on the ground, and this is holding up. They didn't snap. So yeah. This woman on my screen is insane. Because Patrick wasn't even home, according to the accounts. And what needs to be pointed out is that Lindsay was alone with the kids. Lindsay asked her husband to go out and get stuff for her. It was, at least to me, premeditated. As far as, where, yeah.
Lawyer? This has been insane. She has such a good lawyer, but I really do think he is setting this up so that this all comes to light and that there is going to be another trial. It might be a while before we get some answers and before any of this happens, but this is definitely happening.
Except it was. It is stated as such in day 7 of the trial, and it's amazing what a simple Google search can do, right? Also, I'd be remiss to not mention the fact that the husband's DNA was present on the murder weapon. However, this was due to the fact he was the one to find the children. People are just lying about these facts to make it seem that Lindsay is innocent.
The DNA profile from this item is at least 2,600 times more likely if it originated from Callan Clancy and 2 unknown individuals than if it originated from 3 unknown, unrelated individuals. This provides support that Callan Clancy is included as a contributor to this DNA profile. The DNA profile from this item is at least 220,000 times more likely if it originated from Patrick Clancy and 2 unknown individuals than if it originated from 3 unknown, unrelated individuals. This provides support that Patrick Clancy is included as a contributor to this DNA profile. The DNA profile from this item is at least 11 times more likely if it originated from Lindsay Clancy and 2 unknown individuals than if it originated from 3 unknown, unrelated individuals.
Okay, to kind of translate this for those who don't like regularly watch forensic files like I do. The forensic scientist is saying that the DNA isn't foreign to the victims, which are the children. That the victims are related to the person that murdered them. That's why they're talking about genetic likelihood. Because, of course, when a child dies, the first people they look at are the parents. Before they ever suspect anyone else. And the fact that Patrick Clancy's DNA was on the murder weapon is a lot more likely than you think, because if he touched the murder weapon to try and attempt something like CPR on the child, on the children, his DNA is going to be on there. As well as fingerprints and like foot trails. That's why when you see a lot of crime shows that they quarter off the area to dust for fingerprints, check for foot, like tread patterns on shoes, like full sweep the area. Around the body and around the home, if you're like murdered in a home or around the like immediate area. They'll even bring in like sniffing dogs. By the way, if you haven't, check out like forensic files, because it's educational on how like crime is solved, because you're constantly leaving evidence, constantly. That's why you can't get away with shit, because crime fighting has gotten to that point where it's kind of hard to like hide what you did. Okay, but we're gonna unpause this.
Here we have another example of where people are trying to say that Patrick Clancy was the killer. Of course.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna read the whole thing right here. Patrick Clancy did it. No DNA of Lindsay Clancy on any of the murder weapons. Actually, not really. Ooh, got some singly sound bites. Let's go. I'm gonna listen to that later. But back to this. It said, but no, genetic likelihood was proved, meaning the perpetrator was related to the minor victims genetically. Lindsay looked for her family and asked if she could have visitors when she first woke up. That doesn't mean that she didn't do it. Lindsay shows more emotion when her kids show up rather than Patrick Clancy. She was suffering through postpartum psychosis. That's okay. Hang on. We're gonna go with. Oops, sorry. going to bring up an example of postpartum psychosis, which is Bose versus the World. Type in mother. Let's see, where is it? I know it's somewhere in here. Is it in Sinister? But there was a case of a woman who had religious-based postpartum, like religious-based psychosis, who ended up murdering her own child. You know what? Where is it? I know you're somewhere in here. Killer. It's somewhere in here. Yeah, here it is. South Texas Christian murders will disturb you. If you don't know how scary it can get, we're gonna learn today. Because I'm gonna make a very clear point. I'm not a psychiatrist. I do consume a lot of true crime.
As Leitner? Leitner. Dina was a young.
Dina had some health issues. This section, postpartum psychosis.
I'm sure they did. 5 days later, she heals up a little bit and she's watching The Little Mermaid with her daughter. And Dina thinks the people in The Little Mermaid are making fun of her. She thinks that in the movie, they're talking directly to her and they're laughing at her. They're making fun of her. And so she runs out of the house screaming. And this time she runs into a police officer and once again tries to approach her. And Tina's just screaming. She's just screaming. He doesn't know what to do. They call another squad car and they take her to a psychiatric hospital. They diagnosed her with postpartum psychosis while she's in the hospital. I mean, listen, sometimes after you have a kid, you're gonna have some postpartum depression. Like, you just are. Like, I don't know who doesn't get that, but for the most part, people do, right? Well, the next level of that is gonna be that postpartum psychosis. That's extreme, right? You're seeing delusions. They could be religious delusions. They could be anything. Well, the thing that's annoying to me about this is John hears postpartum psychosis. Oh, so my wife's just delusional right now because she had a baby and she's gonna get better? Okay, good. Because that's how they really be sometimes in some forms of Christianity. Oh, it's gonna get better? Okay, well, we'll just pray. Now, things begin to escalate in November. John doesn't like how Dina's acting, and he decides that he's going to beat the demon out of her with a wooden spoon in front of the children. And that's what he does. He beats her with a wooden spoon, and she claimed that the night that happened, she had told him that she wanted to give their children to the pastor. I don't know exactly what all she was thinking when she said this. I don't know if it's because she wasn't happy with John and said the children needed to go with another man. I don't know if she was so obsessed with the pastor that she just wanted to give her children.
I know I played a little more than I should, but I want to make it a point how horrific it can be. Dina here, genuinely thought that the Little Mermaid was making fun of her, right? Let's go to
God's mission to Dina was much like Abraham's mission in the book of Genesis. And if you're religious or you were raised Christian, maybe you know what happened between Abraham and Isaac. But because that was in the Bible, the mission that Dina was given to her, it made sense. This made complete sense. It wasn't that she dreamed of being a biblical historical figure. It's that she wanted to honor God's word. God's will must be done. So some time passes, and Dina carries out her mission. And then she called the police. You guys are going to hate me for this. I got to do it. I absolutely have to do it. On November 22nd, the police arrived at the home after Dina's phone call. It was pretty blatant what she said over the phone, but I think that when police came to the scene, they weren't expecting to see what they saw.
Get ready.
When they arrived, the door was slightly ajar, and when they walked in, they were welcomed by Dina. She was there with blood covering her shirt, her arms, and she welcomed them inside. She was humming hymns, and she was playing this song. It's a gospel song. It was called He Touched Me. And she was saying, "Oh joy, oh joy, oh joy. Thank you, God. Thank you, God." And the police are like, "Where is this blood coming from? What has she done?" And
I'm not going to play the rest of that. But the reason why I played it is because reasonable explanation to why... God damn it. I lost my place.
Playing on iPhone?
I wanted to make an
now
example.
You can play Unlocked on PC.
No, Google. I will not. But the reason why I pointed out is because Lindsay was suffering through a very similar condition, but with different variation in her symptoms. Right here. Lindsay looked for her family and asked... Because, here's the thing. Psychosis is gonna, like, fuck you up. But right here. Lindsay shows more emotion when her kids are brought up rather than Patrick Clancy. I wonder why. Because a lot of people who like enter postpartum psychosis, and we don't know if she got treatment like during the time after her incarceration, and is like, it's finally hitting her. What happened? And what she had done? And she's like, oh my god, what did I do? You know, that kind of horrific realization. But I bring that up for a reason. Her temperature was 82 when she was found. He was only out less than an hour, so 30 minutes. Maybe even less than 45 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes is half an hour. Or less than an hour. Patrick Clancy married another woman and had a baby so soon after 3 of his children was murdered instead of fighting for justice. Yan, how much time took place between the murders and Patrick having more kids with a woman he got married to? Grief? Because grief is not linear. He can still have kids while fighting for the kids he lost. What are you on? The voice she heard was definitely Patrick Clancy's. She was also suffering from postpartum psychosis. She's gonna think she's hearing voices. Like I brought up with Dina Leitner. She thought she was hearing God tell her to murder her child.
say that Patrick Clancy was the killer. Of course, I have already debunked the first two claims here. The third one is weird because who the fuck cares? This one is interesting, as it states Lindsay shows more emotion when her kids are brought up rather than Patrick Clancy. Newsflash, people grieve differently. Men sometimes hide their emotions. This is just insanity. And now for the temperature claim. And I really looked into this one. It's basically an argument I've seen repeated a lot online in defense of Lindsay Clancy, and it's based on her recorded body temperature of 82.1 degrees Fahrenheit. The argument goes something like this. 82.1 degrees is profoundly hypothermic. Of course, I'm using Fahrenheit here. This was because Lindsay was found outside by Patrick at that time. So Lindsay must have been exposed to the cold for a significant amount of time. If she had been outside for that long, some people argue that the prosecution's timeline events couldn't be correct. Her doctors testified that there are multiple possible factors contributing to her extremely low temperature. She had been exposed to cold conditions. She had also suffered from major injuries, blood loss, and shock. She had also been transported to the hospital before the temperature was recorded. There is also another important medical consideration called afterdrop. In severe hypothermia, a person's measured core temperature can continue to fall even after they have been removed from the cold environment, as colder peripheral blood returns to the body's core. So
she claims to have... I didn't really cover that point. Okay. I wanted to, like, ask about it just in case. I need the iPad to charge a little bit before we can continue. So what I'm gonna do is make the big ol' CRT bigger to compensate. There we go. But yeah, Lindsay was hearing voices. That's part of psychosis. You know, that's a symptom of postpartum psychosis. You hear shit that isn't really being said.
So, whilst 82.1 degrees is absolutely significant and demonstrates that Lindsay was profoundly hypothermic, it doesn't provide a stopwatch telling us how long she had been outside. So this is where I think some online discussions are going too far. Now, I will say this, it is reasonable to ask whether or not the temperature is consistent with the prosecution's timeline. That is a legitimate question, but saying that 82.1 degrees proves that the timeline is impossible is a much weaker claim, and the evidence doesn't establish that as provable at all. The facts of this are basically quite straightforward. Lindsay's temperature was recorded at approximately 82.1 degrees. She had suffered serious injuries, blood loss, and cold exposure. What we don't know is precisely how much of each of these factors contributed to her temperature, or exactly how temperature changed between the fall and the hospital measurement. So the temperature is evidence that needs to be considered along with everything else. It isn't by itself proof that the prosecution's timeline is impossible. It's been used to state that due to all of what I have said, somehow it makes Patrick able to have committed the crime despite his alibi of going to get the children general medication from a ZVS during the time frame of the murder taking place.
I also want to point out something that does contribute to lower temperature, body temperature, is the blood loss. Because you're losing a lot of blood, you're going to feel cold. But, like, one factor can lead into another, and then another. There was one point I needed a pint of blood drawn. And I'm, like, anemic. I have to have iron in my body. And when you lose even a pint of blood, you're going to feel cold. That's because, like, the blood in your body is what's insulating you, other than the muscles and the tissue and your organs. If you're, like, warm, you're going to feel warm because of the temperature of your blood. Or how much the blood in your body. A pint? Yeah, a pint. Sometimes, like, you need, like, little... I could be measuring wrong. A pint is a lot. Okay, yeah, thank you, Jack Slides, for correcting me. I got my blood measurement wrong. It's like, some blood? Like, you know, like, the test tube full of blood that doctors take from you? Yeah, due to my anemia, as well as a bunch of other factors, even, like, being in, like, a cold room, yeah, you're gonna feel cold. And we don't know exactly if Lindsay Clancy is anemic. And anemia is a factor, as well as generally losing blood. Yeah, those suck. Yeah. But the cookie Mountain Dew really helps with it. My anemia just means I cannot give blood because I have incredibly low iron, and it could really cause people who need healthy blood a lot of harm. I don't think I'm even... You know what? No, I'm not even able to give plasma. So you need, like, red meat. Like, I need a lot of, like, red meat, like, very iron-rich foods, like medium rare steak, or, like, anything, like, meat that's... red meat that's, like, medium rare. As well as stuff like spinach, because spinach is very high in iron. As well as some iron supplements that I need to be better taking at. I keep forgetting to take my iron. And I'm gonna... This is my iron. I need more iron. This is my vitamin D3, which is bone and immune health, and your bone is responsible for production of blood via your bone marrow. As well as some herbal supplements. This is for digestive health. We go on spam whore. But the reason why... You kind of hear it in the background. The reason why I take these is because due to a lot of my medical conditions, it really affects a lot of the specific parts of my body. Because I have an immune... I have the constitution of a small Victorian child. So a lot of these are necessary for my health. I'm explaining these because as someone who's, as part of me getting treated for a large chunk of my life, I needed to have my blood drawn. And my temperature went from nice and warm, and maybe I can take my hoodie off too. Oh no, the hoodie's staying on. It is cold. So that's a possible factor. TLDR, take your vitamins.
Do you see the hoops people have to jump through to defend her? It's utter madness. Okay, what's next? Lindsay Clancy channeling session. What the didn't even it's 42
What the fuck?
minutes long. I didn't even know you could make TikToks that long.
Yeah, on TikTok you can make videos really long. They're really competing with YouTube YouTube, like, video length. All it needs now is the ability to save live stream VODs. Oh! No. Get back in, vitamins. But, yeah.
Alright, let's give it a listen, and I'm just gonna react to this. Okay, so, what the fuck is this? Okay, I'm just gonna press play. Okay. I don't know, man. I fuck's sake.
Young children involved in this.
Yep, she killed 3 children.
ItsyBitsyWebs.com. Oh, this is so cursed. What even is this? Oh my god. Okay, for those who don't know what channeling is, you're basically... It's kind of like a form of spirit invoking. And sometimes it can be done with the living. So, what she's doing is trying to encourage, like, the living spirit of Lindsay Clancy to try and solve the mystery. Oh fuck. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, this is evil. This is evil.
Killed her kids.
Yeah,
And I think she's
true.
on trial or the trial just happened, something like that.
Yeah.
So this is all
Wait a minute, what's wrong with her hair? Oh.
Fuck is that?
I'm not gonna.
What? What? Oh, the names. Okay.
I'm not gonna be
Like, is this
channeling.
like a secret? Is this like a tome? Like, is this some kind of like ancient tome that people use for channeling? Like, very interesting.
And then I saw Cora, Dawson, and Callan, and I guess Cora is the oldest. So I want to see
5 years old.
what I can see from her perspective, from my spirit guide's perspective, from Lindsay.
Spirit guides don't do this. Spirit guides don't do this. They're meant to guide you, not guide you to solve murders on the internet. That's not how spirit guides work. And a lot of spirit guides are closed practices, kind of like spirit animals in indigenous American cultures. So already, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Because, for disclosure, I practice, like, the craft. And I work with deities such as Hecate, Apollo, Athena, you know, those guys. And what they'll do is they'll guide you in the right direction. They're not just gonna guide you on how to solve murders. And I'm gonna bust out something. Oh! I dropped some vitamins. Minecraft. Yeah, we're gonna call it Minecraft. So, what I brought from, like, the other side of the room is actually where I keep my dice. I just take my D&D dice that I use for art prompt stuff, because I like to save art prompts in case I'm, like, stuck and don't know what to draw. But the other dice is more of a six-sided die. You know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I use it for divination, which is you're communicating with stuff. I'm gonna bust something out. Is what I do is I roll the dice in my hand and I ask questions. It's similar to tarot, how tarot is used for divination, but don't use Ouija boards. You can't guarantee what you're talking to. And what I do is I toss it in the dish, and I correspond the numbers with specific responses. The reason why I do that is because sometimes a lot of the deities I work with will try and pull me aside and go, hey, stop being fucking stupid, or take your vitamins. But they rarely interfere with human affairs, typically. Otherwise, unless like out of genuine curiosity, or they just really want to talk to you, which is rare. Like once in a blue moon, like they'll actually reach out. And it's kind of like a telephone, you know, how you'll get calls. So it's kind of like that mechanically. But channeling is you're channeling the energy of a person or a thing. So what this person is doing is they're channeling the energy of a woman who's suffering through postpartum psychosis. So already that energy is kind of skewed because, yeah, health does play a factor in what you're able to do mystically, which is why you're supposed to take care of yourself. Otherwise, shit you do will just not work, right? You also have to have it with good intentions. it is clear that this woman is using it for views on TikTok. Not, oh, I genuinely want answers. And a lot of the answers you'll get aren't going to be the ones you like. I had to have a conversation with a lot of the gods and goddesses I work with who aren't going to tell me things I'm not going to like. My job is to listen, to interpret what they're trying to say to me, and then apply the advice I get when I see fit. The amount of times I've been told, hey, you're just really anxious right now. Take a deep breath. Or, hey, sometimes you're going to have to forgive but not forget what people did to you. That is fine. It is fine to feel hurt. But, yeah. That's basically my explanation of channeling as someone who... I don't even like channeling. Fun fact. I don't like that because that's inviting not great things into also channel through you. Because in a great way to like explain channeling is you're essentially making yourself a lightning rod in a like rainstorm with thunder and lightning. You can't guarantee you're actually getting the energy you're trying to invoke and receive. So yeah.
Because this is a past energy, I can still pick it up.
Past it.
So
Okay.
By the way, that's bullshit. That is a crock of shit. The energy, the past energy. Hang on.
But because this is a past energy, I can still pick it up.
It's a past energy. I can still pick it up. No, you can't. No, you can't. The energy has to be hot. It has to be fresh. It has to, you know. It's like saying, oh, I know this lightning storm is past, but I could still pick up the lightning storm. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Okay.
Oh, sound. Oh, the fucking sound. Of, you know, the ding 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 ding.
Sorry. I immediately thought of the guy ringing the doorbell. That fucking guy, dude. Okay. Prayer?
I personally have, yes.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
she's talking to her. Okay. She's talking to the killer. Right, okay. Wait, if those are... Those are the... I'm gonna have to censor that out. Those are the kids. Oh,
What
this
the
is...
fuck? That's what that black box is? Oh my god. Oh my god. Yen, are you able to call in? I need to explain something to you. Yennefer. Yennefer. Oh, I fucking hate this. I fucking hate this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you for censoring out the children. If you're not able to call in, I'll just say it here. When you're bringing up, like, when you're trying to channel someone's killer and have the victim, like, okay, hang on. Oh my god, oh my god.
Hi.
Hi. I'm gonna explain this really quick. I promise. The fact that the children were on there is extremely fucked, and here's why. When you're invoking the murderer, you don't invoke the victims as well. Because not only is that gonna skew what you specifically receive, it's also extremely disrespectful to the dead. And there is the possibility that these like confused little spirits are going to lash the fuck out. That's why you don't do it. So
See, I remember his unknown Yenlaw. I've probably mentioned this before, okay?
Okay.
When I was a wee little child, okay, a little ember, I used to be into like Wicca stuff. So, and then like I don't know, and then I guess I kind of like fuzzled out of it because everything sucked, and I was like, oh, there's nothing that wants to help me, lol. I now become atheist.
Okay.
But no, like I was in like these servers for like Wicca stuff, and people were like talking about like channeling shit, and I was like, that feels really weird. I don't know. Like I understand like maybe the idea of like I don't know, having a dream and it's about like a relative who have just recently passed away and like it feels like they're having a conversation with you and it's very lucid.
Yeah.
Like but I don't know, I don't really put too much onto that. More so it's just a sad thing that can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not like one of these people who like um believes in this kind of stuff, but like I mean it's you do you, but like I feel like there's like levels to it where you got like people like this where it's incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah, and it's very clear that she's doing it for views.
Oh, it gets better, right? It gets better. Because I'll show some more in a bit to it.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah.
Thank you.
No, yeah. No worries. Okay. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're gay.
Thank
You're
you.
gay.
You're gay too. Well, Wicca is anyway. A lot of people think that way, and I'm not gonna argue with you. It's just that a lot of it's personal energy. Like for Yen, didn't work out for her. That's fine. She now believes what she currently believes. Not everyone's gonna agree. That's fine. However, what this bitch is doing on the screen is very incredibly disrespectful. These poor fucking kids.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of abuse, neglect.
What?
What?
Show me a list, like a scroll, of all the abuse.
Jericho's list. Oh my god.
You just made the list!
Over-medicated.
Oh my god, she's saying stuff that was said in the public trial. Oh my god, this is incredible. Oh.
I'm so confused. Secretly being drugged?
What the fuck?
What? What? Now hold on a minute.
Oh, it's Lindsay.
What are you talking about? Dude, this is the shit I mean, right? This is why I made this video in the first place. These people like this, okay? That are doing this shit? Like, the whole seance crap, putting that stuff online? 3 children have died, and you're out here pretending to talk to the mother. Like, what the fuck? This isn't a fucking seance, okay? This isn't a fucking seance.
Ads. But Yen is correct here. That's not a seance. Yet it's being treated like a seance. Channeling is very different. I mean, great, there might be stuff based on old, but it's pretty new. Yeah, a lot of Wicca and paganism is very individualistic. And that's wholly dependent on if you worship gods, if you worship like yeah, it's very individualistic. Not everyone is going to have the exact same experience. A lot of it's your own energy, your own intuition. However, this woman is not. Ugh. Ugh. Ooh, I feel a certain way about this. Oh no, wait.
Mother, like, what the fuck? This isn't a fucking seance, okay? This isn't a fucking seance, right? This is This is taking a scroll on TikTok, right? Pretending that you've never took a scroll on TikTok, and then listening to the crazy people, okay? This is what she's done in this. Exactly what she's done. Is that a YouTube plaque? Wait, let me look this person up. Oh my god, she's done this before? This is a whole channel?
Oh my god.
It's like the David case, right? No fucking shot. No fucking way. Okay. What the hell? And that's a whole channel. Bookings and products. I can get a seance booked?
No, don't.
Well, I'm just not familiar with this case yet. Sorry, don't leave.
I'm not familiar with this case yet. Just the people I've been listening to online to go ahead and say the shit that's coming out of my mouth so I can pretend to be psychic. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dude.
One, when you're channeling things, it is imperative that you do it in a specific manner. Like, I'm gonna use seances for an example of why it has to be done properly. No shortcuts on this. Is you have to have things like the right materials, because in order to do certain magic stuff, you have to have herbs, you have to have intention. Yeah, a lot of it is intention based. You have to put your energy out there kind of a little bit. And ooh, I want to look into this person now. No, Jack of Slades. No. And I know I sound like a little crazy, but what I'm saying is gonna make sense. For me personally, I don't like doing outward magic. I like doing it for self-improvement reasons. There is gonna be the occasion that I toss a name in a jar, stick it in a freezer, because someone annoyed me. But a lot of intention and energy is put into a lot of practices for a reason. Because a lot of the legwork, a lot of the heavy lifting is your energy. And it's like time released. It doesn't happen right away. It does not. But there's a difference between good intention and bad intention. This is more on the lines of selfish intention, because this is being done for views, for money. And a lot of things that are beyond the veil, are a lot more shy, and you have to get permission from the spirits. Lindsay is still alive, so you can't like guarantee the energy is even her, or if it's something pretending to be her just to fuck with you. You got to be careful with a lot of it's discernment. You have to personally go, okay, you can't really take everything at face value. You have to discern what is applicable or not. Discernment, your own energy, all that. And you also have to have tremendous amounts of respect and politeness for the things you do interact with. Because if you piss off something like, let's say, and this is something basically in my camp, because mine is multi-theistic. If I shat on Zeus, I can't work with anyone else in the Pantheon, because he's calling the shots, yeah? Same thing with everyone else. That is because you're essentially going, hi, I would like to build this relationship with you. So, you guys get what I'm saying, right?
Is that her writing on her? Go on, blow the
she's
case
writing
wide
on her
open. Come on. I too have watched Murder, She Wrote, okay? I know how this is going.
I think I have it right, and I don't want to say it. Like, what? Oh. I've never seen this type of abuse before.
Brother.
This is so weird, odd. Like, I see a man.
Oh.
He's laying on the floor. What is happening? Oh my god.
There's a man in the woods.
Do you hear that, Sid? There's a man in the woods.
I'm gonna like skip to like halfway.
Okay, that's funny. Oh, that is so funny. Oh my god.
For if she starts levitating, like she's for real. Hold on.
She better fucking levitate.
She's choked.
And it's even quicker. It's like.
Oh.
He goes back upstairs.
Oh my god. She's just staring.
There's 2 flights of stairs he went up.
Look at his face.
Go upstairs again.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
Oh my god. Fuck this. Fuck this. These people are insane. These people are insane, okay? Oh my god. And we have one final last video, and to be honest, compared to the rest, it actually makes a lot of sense. I kind of believe this one.
Lindsay Clancy is innocent because she's a Leo, and Leos don't hurt their cubs. I mean, us Leos, we just don't roll like that. And also, did y'all peep the way that the husband was looking in the court? I mean, he just looked suspicious, and I can tell you that he was guilty by just looking at him. I mean, I think that he is more of a primary suspect that we should be focusing on more than her in this case, because it was a matter of what was he doing to her to push her beyond her limits to be able to do such a thing to her own children. I mean, I know there's no logical explanation behind any of the claims I just made against this man, but I just really believe that it has to be the man in this situation. I just need a reason to blame the man, even though she literally took an exercise band and did this to her 3 young children.
Okay, all jokes aside though, this is an ongoing trial, and of course the determination by the courts will be the final word on this matter. However, I think it's laughable and insane and really disgusting, the kinds of rhetoric that are being spouted online, especially on TikTok. This is a bit of a shorter video, but I felt like I needed to talk on this. And I think it's really disgusting how you have a grieving father, and based on no grounded evidence, some internet sleuths are trying to make it seem like he is guilty in some part. Did you like this video? Make sure to like and subscribe and to hype the video. But either way, this has been Yan, and I'm going to sleep.
That was Yen's latest video, everybody. Make sure to like Yen's video. Give it some much deserved love. Okay? Thank you. Oh, also, hype it. I don't know how to hype videos on my end. I want to hype the video. Let me hype it. I think it's like a mobile feature. But we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break. Wait, no, not that one. Not that one. I'm working with an old setup. Where is my? There we go. BRB. I will be right back. I will be right back. I'm back, and I have flan. It's actually really yummy. Let's see. Since Streamline a few hours ago posted a video about Thuman's channel, we're going to do that, and we're going to have that be what caps off the stream. And since we can't really draw at the moment, we're gonna go with, gonna full screen it. Or not. That's cool. That's not showing up on the game capture. Yeah, it's not letting me. Hang on. That's odd. Is it because of the game capture? No, is it because of the... There we go. I fixed it. Chat, I fixed it. Aren't you proud of me, chat? I fixed it. Let's see. Put it under here. And we're gonna 5 minutes 42 seconds.
Being harassed in your community is about as common as the sun rising. Creators being harassed in your community is about as common as the sun rising and setting every day. And while it's usually for something completely innocuous and unreasonable, like artists taking too long to work on their series, too often it'll bleed over into something more malicious and targeted. Especially towards people who are willing to speak out about and try to change the harmful attitudes that pepper our community. Well, I've faced my fair share of malicious actors over the years. That's not what this video is going to be about. If you've been anywhere in your commentary community for the last few years, the name Thuman might be a familiar one. She's a black artist who's been very outspoken about the horrendous treatment of black characters and creators within the art space, such as whitewashing black characters and drawing black creators as racist caricatures, with many videos discussing this topic. Or rather, had many videos discussing this topic. See, a few months ago, Thuman's channel very suddenly vanished from YouTube, with no explanation. And it was only after recovering her access to her other socials that Thuman was able to explain what had happened. Shortly before her channel had been taken down, she released a statement and a subsequent video about her cat, who had recently passed away. After noticing that there seemed something wrong with Gigi, her cat, Thuman took him to the pet clinic, where she was repeatedly told that there was nothing wrong with the animal. It wasn't until many visits later, where Thuman insisted on getting an ultrasound and CT scan, he found out that the cat was very ill and needed emergency surgery. Thuman managed to raise enough money to get the surgery for the cat in time, but unfortunately by that point, it was too late. For a short period after the surgery, Gigi seemed to be up and up, until he suddenly started getting worse again. Thuman was again denied medical attention for her cat until she pressed the clinic to look further into things and found out her cat required emergency corrective surgery for the previous operation. Sadly, despite getting this corrective surgery, her cat passed away shortly after. Determined to find answers, she hired a private veterinary counselor and gave them the medical records of these two surgeries, hoping to get clarification, and was told that it would be in her best interest to pursue the matter legally. Turning to her audience to help raise money for a legal fund in a video, Thuman would wake up the next day to find her email inbox full of gore pictures of dead cats that looked like hers, along with racist messages telling
the trolls sent me photos of deceased cats that resemble my own. They then pretended to be a concerned supporter that needed my help by asking me to share their pet's GoFundMe link in my comment section. I had no idea they were malicious and clicked the link.
her that this is what she deserved. This kind of harassment was sadly nothing new, as the bottom feeders of the community will do just about anything to upset creators who have dared to bring up how frequently people of color are treated poorly in both art and in the community. And so, for the time being, she elected to try to ignore this tirade. A couple of hours after this incident, she received a heartfelt comment on her video from someone else who had supposedly gone through something similar and was asking Thuman if she could help them spread awareness of their own GoFundMe. Of course, sympathizing with someone else in a similar bind, Thuman clicked the link, and just like that, the malicious actor, likely the same one who had been sending her emails before, was in her YouTube account. They wasted no time in deleting all the content before wiping her channel off of the platform altogether. They got into her socials, deleting years worth of art, and even attempted to get into her bank account. Fortunately, her bank stepped in before anything happened, and the various charges this troll made never got approved. Unfortunately, Thuman was in a very limited position, unable to make any purchases that required her to have a card to do so, and having to wait for a bank to send her a new card after she was forced to close the old one. Speaking with Thuman about this incident, she fully believes that this attack was an escalation from the people who had been sending her racist threats and gore images, and was an attempt to run her off the internet for good, and I'm inclined to agree. It doesn't seem like a coincidence that after the first attempt to provoke a response from her failed, that all of a sudden a comment with a malicious phishing link designed to pull on her heartstrings would suddenly appear on her video. And frankly, this kind of behavior is flat out unacceptable on every level. This wouldn't be the first time the internet has come together to make fun of a tragedy in a creator's life for one petty reason or another, but it's especially heinous given the targeted nature of this malicious hacking. Thuman spoke out about the poor treatment black artists in this community were subjected to, and in response faced more harassment. So much so these people are genuinely attempting to silence her for good by taking away her platform and an important voice for the POC community. But why am I the one delivering this news to you instead of themselves? At the time of recording, she's thankfully managed to get her channel reinstated. So surely she's able to make her own video going in depth about the situation. From what I can gather from her DMs, it's a mix of reasons. For one, she's still busy with her real life and trying to undo the damage this hack has caused. And two, her connections at YouTube have advised her to keep from posting anything on her channel until they work out if not, they'll be able to reinstate her videos. As such, she's reached out to me to give her situation a boost. As it unfortunately seems like no other creators are covering what happened here, at least on YouTube, which is crazy. 5 straight years of harassment being to the hacking and termination of someone's channel should be something that's talked about because that's fucked up. The continued treatment of minorities in art spaces, specifically black people, is so normalized. I pretty regularly see horrendously racist shit on my Twitter and TikTok feed. They are constantly shunned from spaces for daring to cosplay characters with lighter skin, while characters with black skin are constantly whitewashed to have their blackness erased. And these posts are just allowed to exist.
By the way, I'm sorry for not like adding too much. I'm hearing double if not triple. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I forgot to mute like the specific window for that. But I haven't been like adding much context to this. Like much in the way of commentary on this. And I am sorry for that, but I want to just say this. The fact that someone would go out of their way to make not one, but 2 attempts to get into someone's accounts just to wipe their channels. Like, wipe channels, social media posts. Yeah, it's been a blast. Trippy as hell. Yeah. Just for being a black creator. Talking about issues that directly affect them is insane. And even the way that it was like done is very malicious. Like to specifically go, yeah, my cat has had a similar experience to yours. Can you please boost my GoFundMe? I'm saying this as a cat parent. I love bringing people's attention to things. Like GoFundMes. Hell, I even have a charity fundraiser in the works. Yeah, a Tiltify campaign specifically to help people who are suffering through blood cancer, such as leukemia or Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that is because I've had family that has cancer, has like passed away from cancer. That's why I do it. However, I have to be very careful with things like links, because I do recognize that people are going to be awful. They're going to be malicious. They're going to be vile. And there's not a lot I can do to fix it. I'm saying this as like a disabled creator. A lot of people will look at me and go, "You're not disabled." But I technically have a right to talk about disabled issues. Thuman, as a black creator, has a right to point out things that are issues. I actually really like Thuman's videos. I need to check if Thuman's channel is like real bad. Come on. Thuman. Yeah, there is archives now. They managed to get Thuman's video back, but there's no videos aren't up. Ooh, I like the stickers. And Thuman has a shorts channel. Thankfully, a lot of art is still on there. And we're actually going to sub to that.
Meanwhile, Thuman has had her Instagram account struck by Instagram for speaking out about the harassment she's constantly going through. If you want to help out, please share this video around. I'll also be linking Thuman going through. If you want to help out, please share this video around. I'll also be linking.
While I have regained access to my accounts, I have nothing else remaining. All my 50 plus videos have been deleted and are now unrecoverable. YouTube was my livelihood. At the very least. Yeah, let's look this up. Let's look up the Ko-Fi real quick. We're gonna look at Thuman's Ko-Fi. It is currently at 86%. You can gift one time, or you can gift monthly, whichever one. I think the one time is the only one up. So go ahead and please follow and tip. I will put Thuman's, the link to Thuman's Ko-Fi in a pinned comment in the comment section of this stream. I am gonna have to private the other two streams from today because, you know.
Thuman's copy in the description of this video. If you can spare the extra dollar, it would be greatly appreciated. And half the revenue from this video, I will be donating straight into Sakot. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I promise I'm working on other videos, but this kind of stuff takes precedence over my more lighthearted projects. I'll see you all in the next one, whenever that may be. Hopefully soon. Bye.
And that was the video on what's been going on with Thuman. Some of the videos have been archived. Hang on. Right here. This isn't everything, but it is a going archive. Please go check it out. But on our end, right? We're going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much for coming around. I am going to just say this right now. I am going to have to fiddle with the settings on Streamlabs a little bit. Make sure I have since I can also stream on Twitch from here, but not at the same time since that like payment locked. What we are gonna do is we're gonna have some streams that are on Twitch, some that aren't. I'm just gonna link my Twitch in the description of live streams. You can also check me out on TikTok. I post a lot of art stuff there. You can check me out on Tumblr and other social medias. Again, links are in the description. But while I fiddle with the stuff, we are going to end stream. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties today. But overall, thank you. Next week we're gonna have more streams. We're gonna have, you know, a T-Pop stream. I'm not sure if I can get Picardo here because originally I was using OBS, so I could get Picardo. But thank you so much for coming. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. I'm waiting for this to load. Bye. Bye-bye.